first one ever on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, which will cross-promote with CBS 47 and Fox 30 in the Friday Night Blitz tonight. You'll see the highlights later tonight on those shows. You'll hear the broadcast tonight right here from Lake City, Columbia. Our game of the week is not only the game of the week around here and for us, but it is in the state of Florida. Number 4, Trinity. Number 10, Columbia. What a matchup we have between two Northeast Florida powers. A ton of talent on the field. Commits going to Clemson and Georgia Tech and USF. And so much more. A lot of talent to showcase here in Lake City tonight as Trinity takes on Columbia High School. 5 minutes or so away from kickoff here on a beautiful night in Lake City for football. First week of the regular season all around the area. In fact, we have high school games already underway because of the 6 o'clock starts in Duval County, 7 o'clock everywhere else. And you can join us not only on ESPN 690 on your radio dial, but also ESPN690.com and on all the video platforms that we host our show every day on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 from 3 to 6. Twitter, Twitch. Oh, we're even on Mixer. We're on Facebook,
even know what that is,
Twitter,
right?
And that's the voice of Kevin Sullivan, the Hall of Famer, former coach at Jackson, Ed White, and, of course, Atlantic Coast as well. He joins us on the broadcast all fall long, every Friday night, a different stop in our game of the week. Hey, Coach, what's up?
Hey, man, looking forward to tonight. Number one, great to have me. Excited about being here. You got two rich tradition schools, perennial power, state champions, deep playoff runs tonight, and we've got a pretty good opportunity to see these high-powered offenses and defenses go at each other tonight.
Absolutely. This field will be littered with talent, and it will be your job to describe all that. I'll tell everybody what's going on, but you tell everybody about them and what's happening in the high school football scene. You know it better than most. You've been around it for 36 years, 27 as a head coach, and these are two of the best programs that we have in Northeast Florida, and these guys have now been around. Brian Allen played here. So many on the Lake City Columbia side played here at Columbia High School, and then Verlin Dorminey and Trinity Christian. What a program. Just a few years ago, they wrapped up 4 straight state championships. Verlin's won 7 of them in 29 years.
29 years,
pretty
amazing.
Impressive.
Yep, and most of his staff is alumni that played here, played for him, and come back, give back to the kids in the community. Same with Brian Allen's staff at Lake City. A lot of alumni on that coaching staff, so they're vested not only in the kids, but the community as well.
The teams are getting ready to be introduced in just a short time here at the Tiger Den as the captains come to midfield. And this is our Mr. Chubby's Wings pregame show, and we will bring you right up until kickoff on this and get ready for a fantastic matchup coming up tonight. We'll have our keys of the games in just a short time, but you mentioned the programs, 2 quarterbacks on display. Jordan Smith, he's a USF commit. Everybody talks about Carson Beck, and everybody talks about Jeff Sims going to Georgia and Florida State. This might be the best-kept secret in Northeast Florida, maybe in the state of Florida. Jordan Smith can really play.
Yeah, Jordan Smith does it all, can throw it, can run it, runs the offense well. They do a lot of no-huddle, hurry-up stuff on offense. And I'll tell you, Jordan Smith, watched him on film from last year. They got beat in the second round when he got hurt in the game. From Jacksonville. Lee beat him, and so we look forward to him. He's got Marquez Bell to throw to, a wide receiver who also committed to South Florida. Yeah. And the running back's back who rushed for about 1,400 last year. So we look for a very stout game as we move forward.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Bulls are excited about this Columbia High School team. They've got 3 commits going to USF, which is pretty cool. How about the other side of things? Ja'Cory Jordan will play quarterback, and we'll talk about that fantastic secondary at Trinity in just a little bit. But Ja'Cory Jordan, Coach Verlin Dorminey says he's really grown a lot from this time last year to this time right now.
Yes, he said that he's a lot better than he was. Well, he's played, he's been in about 12, 14 games. Yeah. And with all the 7-on-7 that they do, and then with their program, the Pro Impact program, that Gerard Ross, offensive coordinator, runs all summer. They're playing high competition and everything. And so I'm sure he's had a good year last year, and he's working forward, moving forward this year, just trying to get better each week. Trayon
Webb is a guy to watch. He was an 8th grader a year ago, was behind Marcus Crowley, who's now at Ohio State for Trinity Christian. And Trayon Webb played as an 8th grader at the varsity level. He is getting looked at by everybody. Keep an eye on him. But what about their backfield? Kewan Herndon, he's not bad either.
Oh, Kewan came back over from Sandalwood. He was here in 9th and 10th grade as a junior, played over at Sandalwood, and he came back along with his brother on the defensive side of the ball. And he's committed to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss commit.
So, that's another SEC guy in this game with the 3 UCFs, the Georgia Tech and the where's
Clemson.
Clemson?
Yeah,
oh,
Fred
Clemson,
Davis.
yeah, ACC, two ACC guys. So it should be a good one in here tonight.
Absolutely. All right, Trinity Christian. How about this little backflip as they enter the field? That will get you rocking and rolling. That's pretty good by the linebacker Tristan Herndon. I like it. We're off to a good start. The Mr. Chili's Wings pregame show rolls on live on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Ryan O'Halloran from the Denver Post, beat writer for the Broncos.
But maybe Cam need that little bit of a kick in the rear end, because over a 48-hour span where Doug is saying probably not for Kansas City, and all of a sudden he's out there with a helmet.
Action Sports Jacks weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport, Baker Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport, Baker Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports.
Will Stan Van Gundy dance at an Elton John concert? Is that something that's ever happened? Is it something that ever would happen?
No.
The Dan Le Batard Show with Stu Gatz. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Tonight's pregame show is sponsored by Mr. Chubby's Wings. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go before the game, during the game, and after the game. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Thanks to Mr. Chubby's Wings for our pregame show, and now we begin football in 2019 here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Trinity Christian kicking off, and they swallowed up Lake City, Columbia on the opening kick. So it's the Tigers that will start from their own 15-yard line. Tigers in their gray and gold unis looking sharp. Trinity Christian, the white tops, blue bottoms, and Columbia left to right on your radio dial, and immediately the inside handoff swallowed up by that Trinity defense, and that's something to watch, that defensive line for Trinity Christian.
Yeah, not overly too big. William Tippin's in there on the play right there. One of the bigger kids inside.
Brent Martineau, Hall of Fame coach Kevin Sullivan here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. You can check us out on all the social media platforms and here on your radio dial on ESPN690.com as it's second down and a long 9 for Columbia. Jordan Smith drops back the pass out of the shotgun, looks to scramble, and Herndon,
Nice
who come out with the backflip, is able to wrap up Smith after a short gain of 3.
Yeah, they got to stay in their pass rush lanes, especially those inside guys. They play that 3-4 out there, so you got to keep those good pass rush lanes and not let him get out and get on the perimeter and take off.
It'll be 3rd and 6 for Columbia from their own 20-yard line. Once again, going left to right on ESPN 690 AM. Jordan Smith out of the shotgun. That's the way he'll operate most of the night. Left-handed thrower. Has plenty of time. Lost a pass down the field. It looked like he was trying to get it to Lenadrick Bradley and overthrew him by just a small bit. Columbia 3 and out. They'll have to kick it away.
Yeah, Jordan had him right there. He had they were in man coverage. It ran a little out and up and had him up the sideline. Just a little bit too much. A little adrenaline and everything going early on, getting going. And so that was a 3 and out. Good job by the Trinity defense right there, getting 3 and out on the first drive.
Oh, we have such a good night for football here in Lake City, Columbia. Good crowd on hand, both sides of the bleachers. It's a big stadium, too, here at Columbia High School. But it's a gorgeous night, half shaded by the sun. And or by the tops of the stadium, and the sun still shining on the other side of the stadium, the far side from where you're watching. Always keep an eye on special teams early in the season, as back to punt is Columbia now.
Good snap.
It'll be a short punt. Nobody will have a chance, and Trinity, fortunate it didn't hit them.
Yep.
And it will be down at the 42-yard line, 41.5 of Columbia. So a very good start for Trinity Christian in terms of field position, and that will bring out Ja'Cory Jordan for the first time in the first series of 2019 for the Conquerors.
Yeah, I tell you what, the kicking game I think is going to be huge. Both guys had talked about they felt good about the kickers, but they were a little nervous about the punting game, and right there we just ended up with about a 25-yard punt, which gives Trinity great field position on their side of the 50.
So here comes Ja'Cory Jordan going right to left, and they've got fantastic starting position to get their first drive going.
Little motion there.
As a jet sweep.
To Killens.
Oh,
he's going to go.
Killian has a hole, and he's gone. 2010, 5 touchdown, first play of 2019. And look at Killian go all the way to the end zone. It's 6-0 early. Wow.
I'll tell you, I was at practice on Tuesday, and Coach Dorman could not get enough talking about Killen. He could not get enough talking about Caleb Killen and what he wants to do with him and get him in space and everything. They come out first play, boom, it's 42-yard touchdown. And it's 7-0, well 6-0 with the extra point pending.
He is a guy they want to do that with, right? Get the ball in his hands and let him do work in the open field, whether it's jet sweeps and bubble screens. And there he is right off the rip from 42 yards out for a touchdown on the opening play for Trinity Christian. What a start on the road for the Conquerors.
I'll tell you what, they blocked him pretty good. I don't think anybody got a hand on him. Fullback in there, Kobe Brown got a good block on the edge.
The extra point is up and in, and it's 7-0 early for Trinity Christian as they get rolling right off the start of this one at Columbia.
I'll tell you what, we got a pretty good game already. We were only about 2 minutes in Duval County. Trinity Christian's up.
This gives us a good
7-0.
chance to get to our keys to the game, brought to you by Lusab Honda. Lusab Honda of the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. And, well, keys to the game might have been a quick start for Trinity Christian. But what about the Trinity Christian Conquerors? What do they have to do tonight to keep this up?
I think that, defense, it's strength on strength. Their defense will top Division I guys in the area against the fast, explosive Columbia offense. So they went back and forth a year ago. So I thought it was going to be a little low scoring, but we may be in a big run tonight.
Yeah, get the scoreboard ready if we look like that. Lusab Honda of the Avenues, our keys to the game. Jacksonville's Honda giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. What about the Columbia Tigers now down? What do they have to do tonight in total to be able to top Trinity Christian, a team they went toe-to-toe with a year ago and lost on a failed two-point conversion?
Yeah, I just think Columbia, they just got to settle in and, they've got a game plan. They've been working on this game. These guys are familiar with each other. They're going to stay on the game plan, work their stuff, but they've got to get something positive going on offense.
Thanks to Lusab Honda of the Avenues for our keys to the game. Jacksonville's Honda giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. Clayton Rome will be kicking off after he made the extra point. Second time with a kickoff, and that one's a good one too. Markell now bringing it back, crosses all the way across the field, slips one tackler, but it'll come up short of the 20 once again. So Clayton Rome doing his job because he's pinned Columbia deep on the first two possessions. First one started at the 16. This one will start right about the 19. Yeah,
Coach Dorman, he said earlier on that, he felt good about the kicking game, and he thought that was a good plus for them with a good solid care, good field position swing. So we'll see what's going to happen right now.
Well, you know all about it in high school football. If you can have that kicker on top of everything else, heck, we see it at the college level too. It's not a given.
No, it's
but
not.
If you have a good one, it's sure a nice thing to have. Jordan Smith in the shotgun once again. Inside handoff. That is to Kylan Kellum, who will be their workhorse most of the night. Just gets a couple yards.
Yeah, big stop up in there again by the inside. Mitchell Bishop, number 50, in there. They're going to hurry it up right here, Brent.
Yeah, they're going to do that. I think they want to play fast pace in this spread offense. Smith, handoff again, and this one is swallowed up. Absolutely nothing cooking because of Trinity's interior play.
Yeah, Mitchell Bishop, number 50, again in on the play. Tippin's in there doing a good job. And the nose guard, he's a little bit smaller than those two other guys. They're doing a good job of moving him around, giving the center a hard time, who's a first-year starter at center, by the way.
They said they were going to go light in the nose, and they certainly are. He's outweighed by a few pounds by the guys that's surrounding him.
Yeah, but speed kills. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that was again, they've got a rookie first-year starter at center. And so with having a good fast kid, you got to get the snap, you got to get your hands on, you got to move your feet.
Well, a mistake by Trinity Christian. They jump off sides, and now that sets up a manageable situation for Columbia. Now 3rd and 2. On their own 25, 3rd and 4. Jordan Smith. Shotgun, and they send the house. Good call on the screen. Callum has it, and maybe a touchdown-saving tackle out to the 37-yard line. That will pick up a first down. What a perfect play call.
Yeah, that's a good call. They must have a tendency of them bringing the pressure in after a penalty or something. So that was a really good call. Middle linebacker in there, he's got to do a good job, Caden Morrell, of mirroring that guy.
Here we go, up-tempo once again. After the first down, Jordan Smith in the shotgun. Callum's been the workhorse, and he just caught the ball out of the backfield. He gets it this time, too, and picks up a few yards on first down. So that will be up the middle for a few. 2nd and 7, and wow, they're going quick. Tippins tries to run off the field, and then he didn't get off, so it's going to be 12 men on the field. Callum has it. He gets popped.
Well, you can see now Columbia sort of settling in what they wanted. They want to go fast because I think they probably believe they can wear the Trinity guys down a little bit inside.
I mean, you talk fast.
That was fast.
That was fast. I mean, they got up to that line. Tippins tried to run off the field, and he couldn't get off. So it'll be 12 men on the field once they figure this thing out. It was a gain of just about 1 as Callum really got rocked on the hit, but I don't think the play will count. By the way, Coach, if they run this fast, you're not going to be able to talk too much.
No, I know. I'm gonna get my money, making my payday.
You need to be short and concise.
Yes, again, but again, that was 12 guys, maybe even 13 guys on the field. They were trying to get 2 guys on, 2 guys off, because they're trying to rest as hot as it is. It's cooling down a little bit now, but as hot as it is early. Yes, sir, hot.
2nd and 3 now after the 12 men on the field penalty against Trinity. 2 penalties on this drive for Trinity Christian. Bradley goes in motion. Jordan Smith has it. Options over to Callum on the left side, and he is swallowed up once again on the far side of the football field for no gain, maybe even a loss of 1.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job. They got the safety down there, Lattimore down there, and got downhill and got down in the speed option. They were trying to get the little one-on-one out there on the edge. Trinity did a good job rallying to the pitch.
Trinity Christian has a ton of athletes on this side of the ball, and you would think the matchup is fun to watch between Marquez Bell and Fred Davis here on the near side. They're matched up right on the near hash mark, and we'll see if Jordan Smith will go to him. He looks his way after getting the snap, then rolls left, finds a wide open Jaden Williams, and down to the 6-7 yard line. Williams got loose. Jordan Smith looked right through it left.
Yeah, it looks like either they had a little blown coverage there or the DB, Miles Burke, got twisted around right there. So, but again, they're going fast. They're trying to get up, get set.
Well, here they are now, 1st and goal at the 9 yard line. Smith hands it off to Jalen Brown, and Brown, who in the spell Calum, picks up a couple yards inside.
Yeah, Coach Allen's real high on Brown. He thinks they don't miss a beat when they give Calum a blow there, so it doesn't seem like they miss a beat.
Yeah, Coach Brian Allen told me a little bit about Jalen Brown the other day. I was here last week for the kickoff classic game against Colquitt County, and he told me about him. He said, keep an eye on this kid, and he scored in that game the first touchdown for Lake City. All right, Columbia in the shotgun. Jordan Smith again, 2nd and goal from the 7. He's got an open receiver in Bradley, and Bradley had a chance at the end zone after catching it a couple yards beyond the line of scrimmage and then tripped over his own feet. So he's down at the 5, or it could have been a score.
Yeah, it could have been a score.
So now it's 3rd and goal. Once again, up-tempo, Jordan Smith in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, and offensive lineman jumped early. Jacob Jones.
It looks like, that's what happens sometimes when you go no huddle early on. You're trying to hurry up. You're doing a snap count with the quarterback, get clapping with his hands because he wants the ball, and then the lineman jumps. So that's going to bring it, 3rd and goal?
That'll knock them back to the 10-yard line. They had a 1st and goal at the 9. This was going to be 3rd and goal from the 5, and Bradley had the end zone. Just tripped over his own feet, or we might be tied up in this game already. Yeah. But now it's 3rd and goal from the 10. Couple receivers to Jordan Smith's right. Jaden Williams goes in motion. Smith rolls to left. He's a left-handed thrower. In the end zone to Williams, but he's out of the back of the end zone. Williams had under pressure, Smith under pressure, threw it out of the back of the end zone, so that will bring up 4th and goal. And now what will Brian Allen do?
He's going to kick the field goal here. Good pressure by William Tippins on there, and by Herndon coming up on the top side to keep it contained. They sort of rolled out to their bench. Left-handed quarterback rolling to the left side, try to throw it back across the middle.
Timeout on the field at the 6:15 mark for a water break. So we'll send it to break as well. 7-0, Trinity Christian in the lead over Columbia High School here on the Action Sports Shacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690.
It got me thinking back to my days covering the Giants camp. I remember talking about how hard it was, mostly if it went against the rules, because Strahan and some other players would challenge Coughlin on it.
Do you remember those days, though, where teams would get punished?
Action Sports Jacks, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Bryant Brigden on for a 27-yard field goal attempt for Columbia, and did it make it over the crossbar?
Oh, man, I don't know. We might got a
a
little home cooking there.
It just went over the crossbar. I mean, it was really hard to tell from here, but it just went over. That was not a pretty thing, but it was 3-point worthy.
It's 3 points, and I'll tell you what, if that was 11 foot, that thing's bouncing off that goalpost.
It was 10 feet 1 inch. It might have been
man, I'm
bouncing
telling you.
back at him.
But again, probably his first time he's kicked in a game like this. Big 2 state-ranked teams going against each other. That was a really good drive. Columbia come back and answered. I know they would have liked to have had the 7, but at least they still get some points.
Welcome back to our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau along with Hall of Fame coach Kevin Sullivan on the call. Thanks for joining us tonight as we debut our Game of the Week on the radio side on ESPN 690. You can also watch this game on all the social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or on Twitch and Mixer if you get those too. But we're also on your radio dial and ESPN690.com. We'll have the highlights of this one on the Friday Night Blitz, of course, later tonight. Trinity Christian in the lead, 7-3 on the road against Columbia High School. As Coach just mentioned, 2 of the top 10 teams in the state of Florida. A fantastic matchup. Tradition, success, ton of talent on the field, and we're here to witness it tonight at Columbia High School on a beautiful night to start the regular season in high school football in the state of Florida. Of course, kickoff classics a week ago, but this is the real deal from around the area. Now, Trinity Christian got on the board first, 7-0, when Caleb Killian ran it in on the first play from scrimmage for Trinity from 42 yards out. But now Columbia just answered a nice little drive. A couple of penalties aided the drive, but a big play to Jaden Williams. Lenedrick Bradley almost made it into the end zone. He tripped up, and instead they'd have to settle for a field goal. Bryant Brigden doing the honors from 27 yards out. Brigden the kick now, and Fred Davis is back there.
That's Herndon with the ball.
And he's swallowed up. I tell you what, you like special teams coverage. Not much doing on the kickoff returns from either side so far tonight.
Yeah, you probably, they don't probably get enough practice on that live stuff, blocking and everything on that. But they kicked through. It looked like a sieve of the Columbia guys run down there. And Davis tried to get a block, but Herndon got no gain. And here we go, 1st and 10. Let's see what Trinity does. I'll be getting the ball to Killian. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it worked on the first play. Let's see where he lines up.
He's on this side.
He's inside with Marcus Burke on the left side, so the near hash, the near numbers, as Trinity goes right to left on your radio dial, and wearing the white tops and blue pants and the blue helmets. Ja'Cory Jordan, hands off.
Herndon.
Off to the right side. He's got a first down and gang tackled right on the far sideline. So a nice pickup to get the drive going. 2 plays, 2 successful plays for Trinity Christian.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they did a nice job on that outside zone play, running the ball outside. The guy's getting on bodies. Herndon's got a little extra gear, gets it moved around the edge, about a 22-yard pickup. And again, they've had a 40-yard play and a 22-yard play. So this is sort of what Trinity wants to do. They're slowing it down a little bit on offense, get their defensive guys have pretty much been on the field for the first 6-7 minutes of this game.
And they're getting the guys that can make big plays. They're getting them the ball. Kewan Herndon already on the kickoff, and then right there. And obviously, we already saw Caleb Killian, number 1 for Trinity Christian, score on the first play of the game from scrimmage. Herndon in the backfield with Ja'Cory Jordan, and we've got flags on the field. Something that you usually will see early on in the season in high school football. The more disciplined you can be, obviously, the better chance you have, because flags fly in August in the state of Florida.
And again, you're in practice mode. You're not worried about it jumping off sides or anything like that. You don't get a lot of official stuff. They've had one kickoff classic where they finally got on the field thing, but it changes when it's the regular season and everything counts. So it should be a pretty good drive here. Trinity to come back, answer, do a good job on this drive.
5:20 to go in the first quarter. 7-3, Trinity Christian in the lead. Conquerors on the road against Columbia High School on a beautiful night here on ESPN 690. Thanks for tuning in to our Game of the Week. You can catch all the highlights and reaction tonight, by the way, on the Friday Night Blitz on CBS 47 and Fox 30. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ja'Cory Jordan hands off to Herndon, and again, that defensive front of Columbia, there's not a lot going on in the middle of the running games on either side.
No, they got a couple big space eaters up inside. They've got the 3 technique and the shade nose in there. Number 50, Dayon Lumpkins in there holding things down. Inside linebacker, a little bit undersized. Number 10, Marion Poland. He was an outside linebacker last year, and they've moved him inside. So, but they've done a good job. They're usually pretty stout against the run inside. We got 2nd and 15.
Here we go, 2nd and 15 from the 31. 2nd and 14, we'll call it. Ja'Cory Jordan in the shotgun again. He's looking to his left. Burke goes up to grab it on the near hash and can't come down with it. Play pretty well defended by Shaheem Brown.
Yeah, they got a little bit of pressure on them, but he did get a chance to set his feet through a good ball. I thought we should have had that ball caught right there. They don't want to be in third and long, and once they're in, that gives Lake City a chance to pin those ears back and go on after them right here. So we've got to see what kind of play we've got dialed up on 3rd and 15. Columbia's defense had good pressure right there. 42 coming off the edge. And Aiden Farmer and Tarek Pons got really good pressure, number 44.
So 3rd and 14, we'll call it. Ja'Cory Jordan in the shotgun has 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. It's Burke. Herndon next to him in the backfield. Jordan takes a snap, and he throws it downfield on the left side. Says Burke go make a play, and he tries. But once again, well defended. Give credit to Shaheem Brown. 2 defenses to Marcus Burke, who's the go-to receiver for Trinity Christian.
Yeah, that was a really good play there. Ball was pretty good placed, hit him in the hand. But Shaheem had good leverage up underneath there. Went up, knocked the ball down right there at the last second. So we'll see our first punt, which, again, this has been Coach Dorman told me earlier, this is sort of a little area he's a little bit nervous about. So who we got?
Should be Caleb Stevenson, number 61, doing the honors.
Josh Luxembourg, long snapper. Oh, that's a good punt.
Punt gets underway, taken at the 37 of Marquez Bell. And here's Bell, the playmaker, going to USF. Not much doing. Ran a little left and out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. There's flags down, so this looks like it will go against Columbia. By the way, correction, it's Clayton Rome, who had the place-kicking duties, also doing the punting duties, and that was a pretty nice punt by Rome, so he's doing his job.
Yeah, about a 40-yard punt, good hang time. It down coverage got down there pretty good to take care of business. Didn't give Marquez Bell, but I'll tell you, see that little shake Bell has right there. Tell you what.
Well, and that's the matchup we want to watch a little bit, right? Marquez Bell, Jaden Williams against this secondary, Fred Davis. Hardly have talked about Davis and Miles Brooks. Davis going to Clemson, Miles Brooks going to Georgia Tech. And that's a fun matchup with a team that plays the spread, likes to throw it against this secondary of Trinity Christian. And this is a defense that always is good and plays violent brand of football for Trinity Christian. 7-3, Conquerors in the lead, 3:58 to go in a slow-moving first quarter. Conquerors lead it by 4. Jordan Smith out of the out of the shotgun, throws right, and he's lucky he didn't put a little more air under that. Not even close to Bell, and Fred Davis would have picked it off if it had a little more air.
Yeah, it looked like he sort of bobbled that ball coming off the play fake right there. That was a nice play-action play right there. I think they were going to sit down, maybe got a little miscommunication between Smith and Bell out there.
Yeah, either miscommunication or the timing thrown off with the bobble of the snap. By the way, the penalty was against Columbia, as we expected, so it knocked them back to the 26-yard line. Now 2nd and 10, going left to right on your radio dial, and in the gray unis and gold trim, gold helmets, Jordan Smith fakes the run, throws on a quick slant, and that's incomplete. Trying to go against... Who is that over there?
Miles Brooks on the
Miles
coverage.
Brooks. Okay, he's got the back of his jersey rolled up, but it is number 7, Miles Brooks. So he tried to take on Brooks, tried to take on Davis on this drive, and no good on either
side. No, anything. One thing that's been quite interesting though is they're in this hurry up on Columbia, and Trinity's running the quarterback to the sideline every time to get to play and running him back in there.
So now it's 3rd and 10 from their own 26-yard line. Columbia. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Jordan Smith in the shotgun, gets the snap, has some time, looks downfield to Bell, and he's got him open. What a catch down the middle of the field into Trinity Christian territory, down at the 38-yard line. If Bell could have kept his feet, he was gone, but instead it's a big gainer on 3rd and 10 and a first down in this up-tempo style. Here comes Columbia.
Yeah, it looks like they were in a little zone coverage there, so if the safety didn't quite get back deep enough there. And that was a big 3rd and 10. Good gainer right there.
36-yard pickup. Smith to Bell. And now in the shotgun. Here's the snap to Smith. Now he's got some room to run. He takes it up the middle. Tries to elude a tackler, and a really good tackle by Trinity Christian. Now we've got a little extra going on, but they're okay. Cooler heads prevail after what looks to be about a 6-yard pickup from Jordan Smith. Now
that's a good open field tackle by Corey Cooley there, number 6. Really good open field tackle, because he might have scored off that if he didn't make that happen.
Alan Smith's that dual threat guy. He's elusive. He's a fantastic athlete. He buys himself a lot of time. Pickup of 6. It will be 2nd and 4 for Jordan Smith and Columbia. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left.
Again,
Kylan Callum in the backfield. Quick little look
middle
over to Bradley, and he's got the middle screen, and it's a first down. He's got a whole bunch more down inside the 10-yard line before a touchdown-saving tackle by Trinity Christian. But a big pickup once again as the explosive plays are adding up for Columbia.
Yeah, I tell you, and they're trying to go fast. Trinity's trying to get guys on and off the field, but that's just a little wide receiver screen coming back in, getting the lineman up to release, getting on them. That's what happens in man coverage.
Jerron Williams saved the touchdown. Here we go, up-tempo. Jordan Smith takes a snap, rolls right,
and
then
he
fumbles the football. Trinity Christian has a chance at it, does not get it, and Kylan Callum saves the day. But it's a huge loss for Columbia as he has it all the way back on the near side at the 29-yard line. That will be a loss of 20 yards on the fumble by Jordan Smith. Trinity Christian almost came up with it. Callum at least saves the possession.
Yeah, Jordan, they rolled him to the right that time, and he sort of like looked at the ball like the ball was wet. What you don't understand is you're playing into little humidity and everything this time of night that you're not used to playing because they haven't practiced or anything that much at night.
The defensive line of Trinity doing a nice job getting pressure on Jordan Smith, too. Smith once again in the shotgun. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Callum in the backfield. More pressure comes. Smith eludes a tackler, now rolls left and has a receiver down at the 12, 13-yard line. It's a catch, and it looks like it's Bradley on the far side of the football field. So they get 17 yards back after a huge loss of 20 on the previous play.
Yeah, Terrell Jackson was on the spy right there, linebacker, playing the quarterback on the run, came downhill and just didn't make the tackle. It would have been another big play, but give Smith credit. He kept his eyes downfield, didn't take off running, delivered the ball right there to Bradley. So we got a pretty good movement here on 3rd down. Big play.
That'll be 3rd and goal now from the 13-yard line. Trips to the right. Callum in the backfield. 1 wide receiver to the left. Bell comes in motion. Jordan Smith gets the shotgun snap into the end zone. Almost picked off, and that will fall incomplete. It looks like it's Miles Brooks again with the pass defended. He almost had that one in his mitts.
Yeah, Miles I thought might have had that ball right there, but that was another good job of coverage there by Trinity. Really good job of coverage. They're going to kick this field goal, so hopefully it'll be a little bit higher than the last time.
Well, they'll set the ball from the line of scrimmage at about the 13-yard line, so this one looks like it will be about a 30-yard kick. Bryant Brigden already made one from 27, but he just barely made it from 27. 1:08 to go in the first quarter, 7-3. Trinity Christian in the lead by 4, and Columbia trying to get a bit closer now. The 30-yard field goal attempt by Brigden. Snap, the hold is good. The kick is up and a little higher, and it looks pretty high, but left. And so it's no good by Brigden, even though it looked a lot better than the one he made a short time ago. So our score remains 7-3 with 1:08 to go in the first quarter. Trinity Christian on the road and a 4-point cushion.
Yep, it looks good. We got a couple scores coming in from the Jacksonville side. We've got a St. Augustine 10-7 second quarter against Yulee up. Sandalwood up 14-0 at half over Parker. Fleming 7-0 over Clay first quarter. Ponte Vedra 10-7 over Nice. Oakley 10-7 over Orange Park.
Raines was losing big at home.
Yeah, Raines losing big, 26-2 going into fourth quarter. Englewood up 30-7 over Paxson in the third quarter. That's good over there.
You'll see a lot of those games tonight on the Friday Night Blitz as Trinity Christian takes over now on their own 14-yard line. Hand off to Herndon. He goes to the right side, picks up a few yards before he's brought down by several Columbia Tigers.
Yeah, what's sort of interesting about this is Trinity's quarterback is running to the sideline each time to get the play and running back. So they're not in any big hurry. You know, they're trying to get their defensive guys a little bit of rest. We're going to use up some clock. We're going to get the play. Now, hopefully, Jacoby's in pretty good shape running back and forth this early in the season. But
it
a lot
was
of guys
hot in Jacksonville today, so even through warm-ups, it's beautiful out right now, but it was close to 100 degrees out here in Lake City. We did our show in the afternoon. It was really hot, but it's certainly cooled off. It's beautiful, but you still worry about cramping and all those kind of things early in the season. Ja'Cory Jordan could be the final play of the first quarter, 25 seconds to go. Hands off to Herndon. And he is met in the backfield in an awkward-looking tackle. Yeah. But that's a good one, too, and that is
Levante Campbell, number 4.
Yeah, he's another USF guy. Number 4, he's their stud on defense in the linebacking unit. Columbia with a nice play defensively.
That's going to probably be the end of the first quarter.
Well, that will do it, actually, as we wind down. 1 second, and now the horn goes off. 7-3, Trinity Christian in the lead on the road over Columbia. You are listening to our Game of the Week on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We'll be back right after this.
That's the crossroads.
So then you would have Jerry Jones basically saying we're not paying market value for what this guy would be worth.
He just came out and said you can win a Super Bowl without winning a rushing title.
Golic and Wingo, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is seeing zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit this month. Sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 due at signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration. With approved credit through AHFC. Lessee's responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Welcome back to our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau along with the Hall of Famer Kevin Sullivan. Glad to have him up in our booth or out on the bleachers. We're hanging out outside.
We're hanging outside. Yeah, it's nice.
It's a fun place to be.
There's no air
we didn't have to pay for these tickets.
Ain't no air conditioning inside, so we're probably cooler out here.
Trinity Christian up 7-3 at Columbia High School. A good start on the road when they scored on the first play of 2019. Ever since then, pretty quiet. Columbia kicked a field goal and then just missed one moments ago. So here we go to begin the second quarter, and it's Trinity Christian with the football going left to right in the white tops and blue pants. Ja'Cory Jordan calling out the snap, and now a timeout by Verlin Dormady to start the second quarter. What do you think happened there?
Yeah, there's something he didn't like right there. You usually don't come out of a quarter or out of a timeout and call a timeout. Something he didn't like. Either somebody didn't get lined up in the right formation, but he didn't like it. He called that timeout fast. So
good time to thank some of our sponsors, including Baker's Sports and our pregame show sponsor, Mr. Chubby's Wings, 2 locations on the west side and in Fleming Island as well. We appreciate their support as our high school game of the week continues to roll on here on this Friday night. Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, timeout on the field to start the second quarter as Trinity Christian has about 3rd and 6 from their own 24-yard line.
Yeah, the offensive line's done a decent job tonight for Trinity. I know that Coach Dorman, Dylan Masters, a big right tackle on the right side, is doing a good job too, trying to neutralize his pass rush.
Corey Jordan takes the snap out of the shotgun now, looks down the middle of the field and had a little bit of space but could not connect with Kobe Brown, and Trinity Christian will have to kick it away.
Yeah, there was a pretty good play design. They had the sort of like the sniffer, the H-back sniffer guy, tight end type guy, right up the seam right there, Kobe Brown, and they had him, and it seemed like, again, Jacoby just got a little bit excited and wanted to drill that thing 100 miles an hour, so we'll come up the 4th down, the punt team. Look like Bell's deep for Lake City.
He can be a playmaker now, so keep an eye on number 2 if you're watching on the video streams.
They got 12 guys on the field.
The punt is almost blocked, and the punter goes down wrong. Gets off a good one, though, and it'll be a fair catch for Bell at his own 40-yard line.
Whoa.
Let's see if there are any flags down, because Columbia almost didn't get off the field.
I still think they had 12 on the field. I always count. That's a habit for me. On special teams, I'm always counting. So, no, I'm not coaching anymore, but I'm always counting on special teams.
Oh, that will set up Columbia at their own 40-yard line to begin things. Down 7-3. Trinity Christian in the lead. Columbia, the home team here on our Action Sports Jacks game of the week. Also want to thank Lusab Honda of the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda Giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy, for our keys to the game tonight. And later on, we'll have our drive of the game in the postgame show. Columbia with the football going right to left at their own 40-yard line, 1st and 10. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Jordan Smith drops back, looks right, and he has a receiver over there. It looks like Jaden Williams right around midfield. He steps out of bounds. Yes. Gain of about 10.5, 11, and a first down for Columbia.
Yeah, it seems like every time they're in zone, when Trinity's in zone, that like Columbia is just getting about 8-10 yards and sitting it down and getting the ball out fast, getting it to them. And I think that's where they've gotten a lot of their gains, when they've been in zone coverage.
Now in Trinity territory, Columbia first down and 10 from the 49. Callum gets the handoff on the inside, has a hole and a burst, a first down and more, down to the 34-yard line. Kylan Callum with a 15-yard pickup and another Columbia first down.
Yeah, a little inside handoff, a little inside zone play. They bring the H-back to kick the end out, and he found a little seam. I won't say he's little. He's small in stature as far as height-wise. He can hide up behind the big uglies up front.
He found a crease there, and now it's 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line of Trinity Christian. Here comes Columbia on the move once again. They've had some explosive plays, and now an offsides, it looks like, against Trinity Christian, as we have some flags. Looks like both ends jumped for Trinity.
Yeah, it seems like Columbia's settling in offensively. They've got to get some points, touchdown points, not field goal points. You can't trade field goals or miss field goals in a game like this.
Columbia really has done a nice job bouncing back from a little bit of adversity at the beginning when Trinity scored on the first play of their first possession of the season. Screen play once again. This one gets to Callum, and Callum's loose, and he might have a touchdown inside the 10, and now a touchdown as nobody could stop Kylan Callum on the screen. Trinity had the blitz on, a perfect call once again, and Callum goes to the end zone.
Yeah, that sort of put Miles Brooks in a bind out there, because Miles is playing off, and he read the screen and came up, but the Columbia got all the blockers out in front, got a little chip on him, and then Callum just took it in from there.
It's the second time we've seen the screenplay work to perfection as the blitz. Obviously, everybody was let go by the offensive lineman, and both times have been nice pickups. This one, a touchdown from Jordan Smith to Kylan Callum.
Yeah, you still got to have somebody playing that back, though, even though you're on the blitz. Got to have that taken care of. So extra point.
Well, it was an offsides that time by Herndon as he broke through a couple of seconds early. And they blew that one dead, thankfully.
Yes. Yeah, they seem to be a little bit frazzled on that. I don't think they're used to giving up those big plays. Are they going to go for 2 here? They're going to kick this again. This sort of deja vu from, they're going to go for it. They're going to go for 2.
Well, this is what happened a year ago.
Right.
On a penalty, they moved closer to the goal line, down by 1 against Trinity Christian, and Columbia and Brian Allen chose to go for it as they moved closer, and the extra point failed. It was kind of a bobbled snap, and they lost the football game last year against Trinity Christian. So we'll see if they do it again. But first, Brian Allen's going to talk about things as Columbia calls a timeout. It's now 9-7, the Tigers just scoring on a screenplay from Jordan Smith to Kylan Kellum as explosive plays are now going off left and right for the Columbia Tigers. They have to like that. They found a little bit of a groove on offense.
Yeah, they've sort of settled in. You can see them. They're in 2 by 2, 2 receivers on each side, and then they're moving a guy across the formation. See what kind of coverage they're in. If they're in man or zone, if Trinity's in man or zone, and then they've been playing and they've been doing a few things to the single. Then they come back through the screen. And so I think they've got a pretty good game plan. Again, and these guys have played. It's not like they're playing for the first time. So these coaches are sort of familiar with each other, just like last year in a great game in the playoffs. But these guys are sort of familiar with each other.
Let's see what Coach Brian Allen does, and I think they're going to go for 2. And they are. A 9-7 game at the moment. And after the penalty, Jordan Smith's back in. Brian Allen's going for 2 here. Has receivers to the left, and he opts to run with it after the shotgun snap, and that was too easy. 2 points right up the gut for Jordan Smith, and Columbia now leads it 11-7 over Trinity.
Yeah, a little speed option. He did a really nice job on it. Now, the Trinity, they had a guy outside there, but he made a nice fake pitch move, stuck his foot in the ground, and he only needed 1.5 yards. So it was a pretty good movement right there to get the 2 points. Now it's a 11-7 game.
You get Jordan Smith one-on-one, I think they'll take it.
Yeah, I think so. But
and they did a nice job of setting up that matchup.
This has sort of been everything that we thought it was going to be. I didn't think it'd be high scoring. I thought they'd be a little bit better offensively and defensively. But I think they've come in with a really good game plan on both sides. Now Trinity needs to get going and get going on offense and keep being consistent like they were before. They got that good drive before and then got stalled on the penalty.
11:04 to go in the first half. 11-7. Columbia now takes the lead over Trinity Christian here at home on a beautiful night. Thanks for listening on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 and watching. If you're checking out some of the social media platforms, you can see the game on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Mixer, Periscope. Oh, we got it all, Coach. Brett Martineau along with Kevin
We used
Sullivan.
to have VCR tapes and 8mm film.
And a big shout out to Olivia Tassely, who's here with us tonight, and she is running the camera. So we couldn't do this alone.
Without her.
So here we go. Columbia to kickoff. It's Brigden. And the kickoff is to about the 9-yard line. Here comes Fred Davis. He's got the ball in his hands. And he's got not too many places to go. He gets across the 20-yard line, but Columbia once again defends the kickoff very well. Both teams have done that tonight. Nobody getting loose on kick returns.
No, not on that. And then the kicker right there did a nice job. They're lining most of their guys up on the hash, on the left hash, and basically trying to pin them down in there where they can get down with the coverage and not getting anybody blocked on that. Trinity not doing a good job of getting anybody blocked. Try to get a hat on a guy and let your athlete make a move on there and make a play.
Well, now, so Columbia has the momentum in this game. Up 11-7. They've scored 11 unanswered. They even missed a field goal in this stretch. 10:58 to go in the first half. Here comes Trinity Christian. Try to seize some of that momentum back. Ja'Cory Jordan in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his left. Hands off to Herndon. Herndon to the right side. And not much doing as Columbia is able to stop Herndon after a short gain of maybe 2.
Yeah, they're doing a real good job. They've got a couple, like we talked about earlier, the middle linebacker downhill. He's played a lot of games in his career. He's been on the outside. Now he's moved inside, and he's getting downhill, reading it. And I think Trinity's sort of been a little bit of a lull. They don't have much energy on the sideline or anything. I don't know if you've noticed that, Brett.
That's only something a coach would notice. Coach Kevin Sullivan, I expect you to notice that.
All right.
You did it. Ja'Cory Jordan now in the shotgun once again. Herndon to his right, 3 receivers to his left. The give to Herndon up the middle. He's got a seam. Actually, that's Caleb Killian. And Killian, who scored from 42 yards out, found another seam, and he'll pick up about 11 yards, and it's another first down for Trinity. Killian having a nice game.
Yeah, really nice play right there. They pulled a little guard wrap around, handed it off, and they had a nice little seam. They got a good double team on the shade nose and got a little crease. Had a good run right there, good run.
And they'll put Caleb Killian anywhere, and
right.
That's for good reason. They want to get him the football.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's been impressive. Everything Coach Norman told me when I went to practice on Tuesday. So we'll see if we get a little dose of him right now.
Clock ticks under 10 minutes to go in the first half. 11-7, Columbia in the lead over Trinity Christian. Conquerors with the football, going left to right on your radio dial if you're listening. Ja'Cory Jordan has one receiver to his left, two to his right, out of the shotgun. Gives it to Killian again. Killian has it across the 40-yard line, tries to make a move to the right, and it's swallowed up about the 43.
Yeah, Killian's been, again, nice little bend back cut up inside, and then he hits it. He explodes when he sees it right through the hole, and really giving them a little bit of spark, maybe getting the defensive guys a chance to catch some water, catch their breath a little bit. And he's coming out right now. Probably Herndon's going back to running back. And let's see if we can what we're going to get out here on defense here.
Good gain of 6 on first down, so here come the Trinity Christian Conquerors on second down. Ja'Cory Jordan operating out of the shotgun. Two receivers to his left, one to his right. The give to Herndon in the backfield, and Herndon has some space now, cuts back in the middle of the field, and it's a very good tackle by Columbia High, or that one could have been an even bigger gain, but it's already a first down. Dante Brown stopped Herndon before he got more.
Yeah, I like what they're doing there, Brent. They're doubling the nose and turning out on the defensive end and taking the H-back sniffer and bringing him up underneath and then wrapping a guard to get an extra body to the party. It's almost like they're running a little power ISO right there.
Columbia with a lot of momentum. Trinity trying to take it back. 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. Trailing 11-7 with the ball, though, in Columbia territory. Ja'Cory Jordan takes the shotgun snap, looks right to Burke, just overthrows him on the near sideline. Burke tried to catch it one hand, couldn't make the catch.
Yeah, that was a pretty good ball. I think Burke might have got squeezed a little bit, too. We're into the boundary. He's got to give himself a little bit of room and maybe be on the top of the numbers instead of being about 4 yards from the out-of-bounds line, so you don't have any room to work over there. That's what's hard about with the balls when you put the ball from the right middle, and then you're the wide out. You got to make your adjustments. So you got room. You don't get squeezed by the sideline. It becomes an extra defender.
Third bid to get Burke the ball. Just haven't been able to do it yet. One receiver on the near side, right, two to the left. Ja'Cory Jordan gets the shotgun snap. Gives it to Herndon. Herndon goes left, tries to cut back, but nothing doing. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage or a half a yard gain, and it will be 3rd and long for Trinity Christian.
Yeah, Marlon Pollock, the middle linebacker, down there on that. They did a really much better job. Tarek Pons, the defensive end, he did a good job off on that squeezing that down, but we got good play, we got good fill. It seems like they're trying to play a little zone to the 2 side, but they're playing man on the backside. Lake City, and that's why I think they keep coming back to Burke over there on the single. But Shaheem Brown has been playing really good tonight, really good.
Score in Oakleaf 17, Orange Park 14 at the half, so that's a good one. We've got a good one here too, 11-7, Columbia in the lead at home. Trinity Christian on 3rd and long. Pitches it to Killian, and Killian is swallowed up for a loss of maybe 10. Nothing doing. In fact, that thing was slow developing so much that I thought he might throw the football.
That's what I thought was going on.
Instead, he just had nothing to the right, and nice job by Columbia to stall that drive by Trinity Christian.
Yeah, I think that they did a good job stringing that out. You know, you get them one time and you go 40. The next time, the defensive guys are going to make a little bit of adjustment. But, again, I thought the same thing. I thought they were getting ready to pick it and throw it deep.
Interesting play call on 3rd and long.
They seem like the passing game, they're not in sync very well in the passing game.
4th and long, Roan in again,
punt.
And he's really had a nice night, punting and kicking, and here's Bell. He catches it at the 21, goes right with it, and then he is tackled and goes backwards, actually. Nice special teams coverage. I'll tell you what, for the beginning of the year, the special teams of both teams so far has been outstanding.
Yeah, really good punt there. It was 35 in the air, caught, and then minus about 4 on the return. So it ends up being, a gain of almost 40 yards on the punt.
You'll take that.
So, yes, sir.
6:38 to go in the first half. 11-7, Columbia leads it and now has the football back at their own 19-yard line. Now they put the nose of it on the 20, so they'll start at their own 20-yard line. Jordan Smith starting to get explosive plays. He's in the shotgun once again. Looks to his right side. And he has a receiver for a gain of about 11. I think that's Jaden Williams. The numbers are getting a little harder to read, Coach.
As the sun goes down.
The sun went down.
And the light, we got to get used to the lights. But, yeah, those yellow numbers aren't doing us old guys anything with our eyes. I can tell you that.
I didn't think I was an old guy until I just tried to read Jaden Williams' number. Might have to go to the eye doctor on Monday.
Yeah, but I tell you again, what they're doing is every time they're playing zone, they're just trying to take the softness up, the zone up underneath it, and just get an 8-10-yard gain each time.
Well, that was a gain of 11 and a first down, but now some movement on the offensive line. And both teams have been relatively disciplined so far in the first half. A couple of flags here or there.
Yeah, you're always going to have that early on. You know, you're not going to come out and be firing crisp and ready to go. You know, it does. People don't understand. It takes a little bit of time to get into the role, and we're at hydration timeout.
Hydration timeout, 6:12 to go in the first half, 11-7, Columbia leads it. We'll be back on the Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690.
It's good.
Really thinking that he might go to the Clippers just because we weren't hearing anything about the Clippers, and real G's move in silence, and Kawhi Leonard is a G.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Do real G's move in silence?
The Dan Levitard Show with Stugotz. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit this month. Sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 do-it signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration with approved credit through AHFC. Lessee's responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
Welcome back to Columbia High School in Lake City. Brett Martineau, Kevin Sullivan. 6 minutes to go now in the first half. 11-7. Columbia leads Trinity Christian, and it's first down from the 26, but first and 15. Kylan Callum now has it on the screen on the right side. That play worked for a touchdown a short time ago. This time it goes for, well, maybe a yard.
Yeah, they didn't really bring anybody on that. They played a little soft zone, so we had all kinds of Trinity guys rolling to that.
That'll bring up second down and 15. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was about it. 11-7, inside 6 minutes to go now in the first half. Two receivers to the left for Jordan Smith's offense from Columbia High School. Two receivers to the right. Jaden Williams goes in motion. Smith drops the pass under a little bit of pressure. Now scoots up the middle, has some running room, and here he goes off across the 40, down to midfield. He could go all the way here, down to the 40 and 30-yard line. He slides. Smartly doesn't take a hit, but Jordan Smith with a big gainer on 2nd and 15 gets all the way down to Trinity Christian's 31-yard line.
Yeah, that was a really good scramble. Again, they got to stay in their lane, their pass rush lanes. They got pushed out, and they gave him a nice crease, and he made a nice little move, and, boy, he was running and everything like that. You know he wasn't outrunning Miles Brooks there, so he just
I thought for a second he could. So here we go. He actually spotted at the 34. That's where he began his slide. Jordan Smith in the shotgun again, 1st and 10. Now over the middle, and he gets hit on the play. Pass falls incomplete, so we'll bring up second down. That gainer, by the way, on the run by Jordan Smith, who's a spectacular athlete, USF commit, picked up 40 yards on the scramble. Dual threat quarterback showing it off so far here in the first half.
Yeah, and it's not really design run. It's more of his scramble ability, his escape ability and everything. And I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with how he hangs in there. He still keeps his eyes downfield as he's starting to scramble away, and then, boom, he just takes off and goes.
Saw him play a couple times last year, too. He really does a good job of extending plays, buying time for his receivers, and then if there's nothing there, just uses his legs like we just saw moments ago. Two receivers to his left, two to his right. Callum in the backfield. And Jordan Smith will keep it himself. Runs to the left, escapes a would-be tackler, has a first down, now to the left sideline. And Trinity Christian wants a hold. They won't get it. And now Jordan Smith out of bounds at about the 13-yard line of Trinity Christian. They're in business again, trying to go up a couple of scores.
Yeah, that time it was definitely a little zone read. They're reading the defensive end. So they faked the run. They did call holding.
Oh, they did throw a flag.
They did throw. It was on the wideout out here.
Well, everybody on the Trinity, we're on the Trinity side, you could probably hear, and everybody on the Trinity side saw that, and obviously the officials did too.
Yeah, but you could call holding on every play, Brent. You know that. But But that was a really good play. But wait for him to pull it off that little zone read right there, and he did a nice job and got on the edge. That's got to be disciplined by the defensive end from Trinity to not try to chase that down. So he's got to play the quarterback off that play.
Well, so with the hold, instead of a first down at the 13, it'll be a pickup of just 4 yards because the penalty brings them back. So it's 2nd and 6. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left for Jordan Smith and the Columbia High offense. Drops back, looks right, throws a long way across the field, and Miles Brooks tackles the receiver right when he catches the ball. I think that's Marquez Bell, and it will be a gain, but just a gain of a couple yards as Brooks was right there waiting.
Yeah, Brooks came down fast on that. That ball hung a little bit. Seemed like it took a minute to get there.
Well, that was a long throw from the left hash really all the way to the far sideline. So here we go, 3rd and a couple of yards. Once again, Jordan Smith in the shotgun. Jalen Brown right next to him. He'll give it to Brown up the middle, and the push will pick up a first down. Nice job by the interior of the offensive line by Columbia High School. The sophomore Brown picks up about 5 yards. They'll move the chains, and it's 1st down and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Jacob Jones, the right guard, and Darius Kimmel, the right tackle, who are returning from last year, and that seems to be the favorite side to run to. But they got good push in there along with the center, Marvin Farmer.
Give them some love, Coach. Give that offensive line some love. I like it,
man. They don't get no love. All they do is want to get some food and take a nap.
4:18 to go in the first half. 11-7. Columbia in the lead and driving. Trips to the left. The receiver to the right. Jordan Smith in the shotgun. Drops back the pass. Looks down the field to Bell. And there's a holding penalty that's probably going to be called or pass interference because flags are down even though the ball falls incomplete.
And there's no interference replay in high school. Just so everybody knows that.
Thank goodness.
There's no replay of any kind. But what do you think? You got defensive holding or offensive pass interference?
No, I think that's got to be either holding or pass interference on Corey Coley. I think it was. Or was it Fred Davis?
Yeah, I think it was Fred because it was up.
They
offset.
Okay, 2 penalties on the play. We're looking down the field, but 2 penalties on the play that offset, so we'll do it again.
Okay, so now as a coach, why are you throwing that? It was incomplete. You know what I mean? There was no penalty because they offset. So why do we throw that? Why do we throw holding and pass interference? It's offset, so why do we throw it? It's incomplete. Now, if the ball was caught, I understand, but that's just me as the coach.
I like it. 2 to the right, 2 to the left, receiver-wise. Jordan Smith in the shotgun, looks to throw down the middle of the field again, and what a nice play. It looks like Fred Davis, or was that Coley? It's hard to read these guys' numbers, Coach.
No, that's Coley right there.
That was
a good play, yeah.
Really nice play over the middle of the field.
Yeah, that was a good play. It looked like a little pick route up underneath there right there, but I thought Coley did a nice job. Undercut, got a hand on it. And, you know, those guys do a good job over there getting those DBs coached up. But, see, that guy like Coley's important for Trinity because they've got the 2 outside guys that everybody knows about, and he gets an opportunity to play, and he's going to be picked on a little bit more than the outside guys.
Well, everybody wants to be DBU. Trinity Christian's DBHS. They got a ton of them. Jordan Smith in the shotgun. Gives it to fakes it to Bradley. Now keeps it around the left side, looking for a first down. He slides, but he might have slid before the first down marker, and it will bring up a 3rd and short, I believe, instead of a first down.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job off that fake jet sweep with the quarterback keeper.
He fooled me.
Yes, and the defensive end did a nice job staying home. He just couldn't get him with his quickness.
So here we go, 3rd and short now. Smith out of the shotgun. He's going to keep it and dive ahead. Looks like he'll have a first down. This time he dove instead of sliding, so the spot will be more favorable for Columbia High School and Jordan Smith. But no initial sign from the officials.
I think
they're going to bring up 4th down. He did not get there. By the way, he dove. It looked like he clearly got it from up here. But instead, they call it 4th down. And it will be inches for Jordan Smith. The offense will stay on the field. 3:15 to go in the first half. Columbia up 11-7. Smith out of the shotgun. Bradley gets the handoff, and he's got a hole and then some. Touchdown up the middle by Lenadrick Bradley. Nice play design, good execution, and Columbia's in the end zone again and leads it 17-7.
Yeah, I think the Trinity defensive guys, if he'd have pulled that ball, they had him that time. They were ready for the quarterback pull.
That's
so
what
I thought
that
was a really nice call. Again, the right side of the offensive line did a really nice job. Kimball, Jacob Owens, the center, Marvin Farmer did a real nice job of getting movement in there and creating a crease.
Bradley came in motion from the left side and got that handoff, and that was it. Couple big plays once again. That one on 4th down to get another touchdown. And now for the extra point, the snap is bobbled, and that's going nowhere. That extra point will be failed by Columbia High School. Kick didn't even get off by Brigden there, as the snap was bobbled by Bryant Green. So we now have a score that resembles a more common score, 17-7, instead of 11-7 or 18-7,
yeah, so
which we might have had.
paid off earlier to make sure we got the 17 on there, but that was a really, really good drive for Columbia right there. They seem to settle in what they're trying to do offensively, and I think the Trinity kids have played really well on defense. But again, I think they've been on the field a little bit more, and they're getting a little weary in there, and they're not overly deep on the D line or the O line, and you can see maybe that coming in with 3 minutes to go in the second half, not in complete game shape yet.
Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan here on the Action Sports Jax Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Our debut calling this game on the radio side and all the social media platforms. Of course, we'll have the Friday Night Blitz for you. Scores and highlights from around the area, including this one. We'll have post-game reaction as well from here in Lake City. Columbia now leads at 17-7, 3:04 to go in the first half over Trinity Christian.
Looks like we got a final in the graveyard. Orlando Jones 40, Reigns 9.
Wow, a little surprise there on the scoreboard at the graveyard as Reigns, the two-time defending state champs in 4A, fall to Orlando Jones 40-9. Tough start for Reigns and Duran Wiley, losing at home. We'll have highlights of that one tonight on the Friday Night Blitz. Columbia kicks it away. Fred Davis will take it at about the 10-yard line. Let's see if Fred can make something happen. He crosses the field, now crosses the 20, stays on his feet. And Columbia High School once again right there to cover that kick as Fred Davis looked like he had a little bit of an opening, but only able to get it back to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, I tell you what, again, you alluded to earlier, boy, the kicking team is they are smothering that down there. They're best. They might just take the ball and run straight up the hash instead of trying to get away to the edge or anything like that, because they're not getting anything. They're making them run east and west instead of north and south.
Davis actually crossed the 20-yard line and then went sideways and backwards a little bit and lost a couple of yards. So Trinity Christian will begin from the 19, and they've got some catching up to do. Try to stall the momentum Columbia has built, up 17-7 here at home for the Tigers. 2:55 to go in the first half. Ja'Cory Jordan in the shotgun. Hands it off to Herndon. Herndon has a little bit of room on the right side near hash, and he'll get knocked out of bounds after a pickup of about 8 yards. So good start for Trinity Christian on what could be their final drive of the first half.
Yeah, again, they're not not overly too hurried. They're just sort of staying with the game plan, what they want to do, and trying to get the ball to the playmakers a little bit. But I see they'll take a shot here, I believe.
Well, number 1, Caleb Killian scored on the first offensive play of the game for Trinity Christian from 42 yards out. He's had some highlight moments, but they have not been able to get into the end zone since that first play, and they took a 7-0 lead. It's been 17 unanswered since then by Columbia. So it's 2nd and 2 yards. Handoff to Killian up the middle, but it's swallowed up by the interior.
Yeah, I don't think he got it.
And I think they're going to have to try to get another yard on 3rd down. That was Herndon, by the way, not Killian.
Yeah, that inside group of Mitchell Bishop and Simeon Davis is really doing a nice job inside.
That's a critical.
Let me check that. I'm sorry. Dylan Lumpkin, number 50 for Lake City, and Caden Hill, they're doing a good job up inside with there, and then the linebackers are really coming downhill. Doesn't seem like they're not worried about the pass threat. They seem to they're keeping a bunch in the box.
Critical 3rd down now, 3rd and short. Shotgun snap to Jordan, handoff to Herndon. Herndon may have got there off the right side and the near hash onto their sideline. I think he got the first down just enough to maybe move the chains and keep this drive going before halftime. And they're going to call for a measurement, I think, Coach.
Yeah, I think you're right. I thought he stretched out and got that.
Hard to tell on the near sideline with all the players where that ball exactly is, but it's close enough to call for a measurement, and we'll see if it's close enough for Trinity to go for it if they come up a bit short. 17-7, Columbia High School in the lead by 10, 1:46 to go in the first half. The Tigers have roared back with 17 unanswered points after Trinity scored the opening touchdown. The measurement is good for a first down, so they just get it.
All right, let's see if they're going to get a minute 46. They've got a first down. Let's see if they're going to open it up a little bit.
Again, Killian, Marcus Burke, they've tried to go to Burke a few times now, 3 times, and have come up empty all 3 times.
Right.
But those are some of the playmakers for Trinity Christian on offense. Let's see if Ja'Cory Jordan can get him the football.
Yeah, and they've done a decent job pass blocking. He's had time and everything. I think he's just rushed himself a little bit. So let's see what we got here on 1st and 10.
Columbia's defense has done a very nice job coming up with big plays. 1st and 10, trips to the left. Jordan drops back out of the shotgun, tries to go across the
nice
middle.
Ball.
And it's caught. How did that get caught? That's Marcus Burke across the middle. 3 Columbia Tigers around it. Coach, I actually thought it got picked off at first. It's Burke that catches it for a big gain into Columbia territory.
And Jacoby just reared back and fired that thing in that window right there. And from us, it looked like it was going to be picked by 3 guys and put it right in there, and he stayed on his feet. That was a touchdown. As finally got the ball to Burke to get something going.
Yeah, that's your playmaker making a play right there, and a good pickup of 25 plus for Trinity Christian. Now they'll start 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Freshman Webb's in the backfield.
Tyron Webb, he's a special talent, and he gets a shift to the left side after getting the handoff, crosses inside the 40-yard line and down to about the 36, so a nice gain of 7. They'll have to move now as we approach a minute to go in the first half.
Yeah, well, good thing with Webb is he's fresh. And the Columbia guys, even though it's, first half, they're getting a little weary, so you got a fresh set of legs. And so you can keep the pressure on them, but they got to go here now.
Yeah, they have to move. They've got a couple of timeouts remaining in the first half, but now we're down to 45 seconds to go. 2nd and 4 from the 36-yard line of Columbia, and Trinity has to get moving now. 38 seconds to go in the half. Jordan gets the shotgun snap, looks to his right, now rolls right, trying to buy some time. He'll take off across the 35 and out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Picks up a first down with 28 seconds to go in the first half.
All right, so not too bad. They did a good job of coverage there. Like I said, did a good job. They pushed him out. But, again, he's got a little bit of escapability. Got the first down, got out of bounds, stopped the clock.
He was patient. He tried to let something develop downfield, didn't have it, and instead runs for the first down, so a new set of downs for Trinity Christian. Here's the deal. Down 17-7, the Conquerors. 28 seconds to go in the first half. A couple of timeouts remaining for the Conquerors. And Ja'Cory Jordan will try to get a big score before the break for Trinity Christian. Trips going out to the left. And Trayon Webb, the freshman, is still in the backfield with Jordan. Jordan drops back to pass. Now flush left. He might be sacked, and he is going to be sacked.
Call timeout.
That's a big play right there by Tarek Pons, the defensive lineman, all the way back to the 40-yard line. A loss of 10 yards and a big play by the Tigers once again, this time on defense.
Yeah, they had that covered up pretty well out there, and there was nowhere for him to go with the ball. And they did a good job on the pass rush, staying in their lanes, and when he tried to scramble out, ran right into Pons. So that possibly, I don't know the range for the kicker here. I'm not sure what the range is, but that definitely took him out of any kind of field goal range right there.
Pons has had a nice first half with a couple of big plays on that defensive line interior of Columbia. 18.2 seconds to go in the first half. 17-7, Columbia leads it by 10. Trinity Christian driving right before the half, but now a little bit of adversity. It will be 2nd and 20 from the Columbia 40-yard line when play resumes. Trinity just took their second timeout, so Verlin Dormany has one more to go before the break.
Well, you don't want to take a sack in that situation, but I think he tried to get the scramble out over them, was going to try to launch it just to get it out of bounds. So in your 2-minute drill, you definitely don't want to take the sack.
He didn't have a lot of time to react there. Pons was in the backfield pretty quick.
Yeah, they did, and they've done a good job pass blocking up front. Just this time they're not. They get a little empty here.
Killian and Burke go to the left. Keep an eye on those guys, Coach, as Ja'Cory Jordan operates out of the shotgun once again, as he has the entire first half and will likely do most of the year. Timeout this time by Columbia as they want to see what Trinity is going to do. Trinity lined up with 3 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right, empty backfield.
Yep.
And Columbia said, hey,
let's take a look at this.
Let's
take a timeout.
Brian Allen,
it's a good job.
Linebacker.
Yeah, if you're not,
quarterback.
You get your guys in mismatches and stuff, especially in a game like that. They give you something maybe you haven't prepared or practiced, and you got to burn that time out with 18 seconds to go before the half. But again, Trinity got a little life going. They got a nice play in there. They got a couple of good runs. And again, don't seem to be in any hurry up or any mold to hurry up right here. So we'll see what they're going to try to do as far as if they go back to the empty, if they go to the empty and motion back in the backfield, just to see what they're going to do and how they're going to play it.
18.2 seconds to go in the first half. One more timeout for each team. 17-7, Columbia leads it. 2nd and 20 for Trinity from the Columbia 40-yard line, going left to right on your radio dial. Trinity empty again. Jordan, shotgun, slings it over to the left side, and Killian can't come away with it. The throw was high, and Killian actually come down a little ginger on his foot. He was limping around, but looks to be okay. So now it's 3rd and 20, and now you just have to let one fly down the field, don't you, Coach?
Yeah, you just got to take a chance. Maybe throw a little Hail Mary. Well, you got 2 down, so maybe you try to get 10, maybe get a...
And you have a timeout.
Yeah, and you still got a timeout.
Well, actually, Verlin Dormany's going to use the timeout now, but you do have a clock stoppage with a first down. You'd have to get up there in a hurry, though, if you're going to do that. So this takes away a little bit of strategy from picking up a first down.
In the middle of the field, yeah.
And then being able to call that timeout and kick a field goal. And they would have the down to do it because this is 3rd down. So 12.2 seconds to go, 17-7, Columbia in the lead, up by 10.
Right.
Trinity Christian got off to a great start. First play from scrimmage for them, 42-yard run by Caleb Killian. He was gone untouched, and it was 7-0 just like that. But 17 unanswered now by the homestanding Tigers, and they lead it by 10 right before halftime. Trinity Christian just trying to make something happen, maybe get a few points before they go to the locker room.
Yeah, and they got to be careful not to, force a ball down the middle of the field to get picked or something like that. I think they've got to do a good job. They may try to get an out route, get 10, 15 yards, and maybe run in there and kick the field goal, but they've got to get out of bounds. They're going, looks like empty backfield again.
This score just coming in, Creekside down 20-13 against Ribault. And we'll have more scores coming up on our halftime report in just a few. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. 3rd and 20 for Ja'Cory Jordan. 12 seconds to go in the half. He's being pressured, and he might be brought down, and he is brought down.
That's going to end the half.
And that will likely end the first half. Levante Camille once again with a big play. The USF commit sacks Jordan back at the 49-yard line of Trinity Christian, and that will do it for the first 2 quarters of action. Big play by the Tigers. They made big plays on both sides of the ball in critical moments.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was a really good job. They really only rushed 3 and then brought a late blitzer on that, and they were trying to keep everything in front of him, and Campbell, who has sort of been overshadowed by Pons in the first half, comes up, makes a big play right there, and shows that great explosion and speed coming off the edge.
Well, both teams will head to the locker room now, or at least a timeout. Columbia will head to their locker room. Trinity Christian will go to one of the end zones, and we will take a timeout. 17-7, Columbia in the lead, scored 17 unanswered. The Tigers at home in Lake City, up over Trinity Christian, 17-7 on the Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690.
Talking to Chris Long, have you at all had any itch about playing again?
I'm not going to lie, I get the itch from time to time. If I ever got an opportunity that was right for me, and I'd look at it.
Golic and Wingo, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on ESPN 690.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit. This month, sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 do-it signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration, with approved credit through AHFC. Lessee's responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport, Baker Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports.
Celebrate our 10th anniversary in September. It's the Action Sports Jax Dream 18 Golf Tournament at the Golf Club at Southampton. Hey, everyone, it's Brent Martineau. Get some friends, play some golf, prizes, food, and drink on us. All you have to do is sign up and show up. September 16th for the Cadillac Dealers Action Sports Jax Dream 18 Golf Tournament. Proceeds benefit St. Michael's Soldiers and the North Florida Junior Golf Foundation. Register today at actionsportsjaxdream18.com and be a part of the celebration.
Welcome back to the Action Sports Jax Game of the Week on ESPN 690 and all the different social media platforms you watch our show on daily, Monday through Friday on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane during the day. Well, tonight now on Fridays as well, Brent Martineau and Hall of Fame football coach on the high school level, Kevin Sullivan, here tonight in Lake City at Columbia High School. And the Tigers, 17 unanswered to take a 10-point lead over Trinity Christian here at halftime. The Conquerors got off to a fantastic start, but they were stymied much of the remainder of the first half. And this is all about big plays, Coach, because Columbia made them on both sides of the ball. You think about their last score, it came on a 4th and short. You think about some of the defensive stops they made, came in critical moments with Trinity grabbing some momentum and driving, including right at the end of the half when they sack Ja'Cory Jordan a couple of times. So Columbia making the big plays, and the scoreboard indicates it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Columbia's come up big. Trinity's had their moments and everything, but it just seems like they're not in a very good sync offensively. They've got a couple good runs. They can't sustain drives. But the Columbia defense has come and answered the call every time. Every time they get something going, boom, they get a couple big plays. And so Trinity's got to get back going a little bit. They've got to get back. They've got to throw the ball a little bit more and loosen up those linebackers.
Yeah, maybe get it in the hands of Marcus Burke. He just had one nice play before the end of the half. Had come up empty a few times prior to that. It was a nice catch by Burke to at least get across midfield and make a play in this game. He's been quiet most of the first half. Oakleaf leading Orange Park 23-14 in the third quarter. Another score to pass along, 20-13. Creekside losing to Ribault, and Inglewood beats Paxson big 44-7. At last check, Episcopal was beating Providence 28-0 as well. And earlier today, Orlando Jones beat Raines at the Graveyard, the two-time defending state champions, 40-9.
Well, they had to keep the tradition going. You know, they've lost the last two first games and then won like 14 in a row or something.
That's how you do it.
So, nothing to be worried about there. And they stepped out, comfort zone, stepped out with a big, real quality opponent. And, they're going to have some growing pains. They've got a lot of kids graduated this past year. But you'll see them bounce back. No issues there. I firmly believe that.
Friendly reminder, we'll have highlights from some of those games and many games around the area tonight on the Friday Night Blitz, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. That includes highlights and reaction from this one, the game of the week really in the state of Florida, but our game of the week tonight, of course, on ESPN 692. The top 10 ranked teams in the state right here in Lake City tonight, but it's Columbia right now leading by 10 over Trinity Christian. We'll come back with more scores and analysis from the first half and what to expect in the second half right after this. Live from Lake City, our game of the week, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Florida. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Florida High School Athletic Association and the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport, Baker Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports.
Hey everybody, Trey Wingo here from Golic and Wingo. Thanks for making ESPN 690 the fastest growing sports station in Jackson. It's clear Northeast Florida has great taste in radio. I mean, you're listening to me every morning, right? Join the ESPN 690 team and get your business notice today. The First Coast is making the switch to ESPN 690, and there's no better time to get your business in front of them. Call ESPN 690 today, 245-8732. That's 245-8732. Grow your business today on the new ESPN 690.
Look at Jerry Jones' face when he said what he said. He looks pissed. He's had this man's back while paying him in excess of $5 to $6 million.
The Stephen A. Smith Show, weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to Columbia High School. Lake City is the site of our Game of the Week on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Two of the top 10 teams ranked in the state, and right now the homestanding Columbia Tigers with a 17-7 lead over Trinity Christian. Thanks again to our sponsors for tonight's Game of the Week and all fall long. Baker Sports. They've been doing it since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Mr. Chubby's Wings. It's the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. And Lusav Honda of the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. Brent Martineau, along with Coach Kevin Sullivan, the Hall of Famer, spent some time, of course, at Jackson, Atlantic Coast, and Ed White. And we are breaking down this game in the first half and what to look forward to in the second half in just a moment. But we want to catch up with some other games around the area. So right now on the phone, Action Sports Jack, Stuart Weber joins us. I think he's been all over the place here on this Friday night, week 1 of the regular season. Tell us all about it, Weber.
Yeah, guys, just finished up my third stop of the night, and I'm headed back to the station. These 6 o'clock kickoffs are pretty awesome, aren't they?
More highlights for the kids. We can put them on TV.
That's exactly it. So, of course, I started my day over at Rains. I know you guys have seen and said the score from the graveyard, and it might surprise some people, and it kind of surprised me just seeing it in person and watching it happen. The literal first thing I saw as the game was getting going was Orlando Jones brings out this offensive line of just monsters, and I'm just like, whoa, those are some big guys over there coming from Orlando Jones. And I don't know what classification they are. I know they're higher than Rains is, though. I do know that. And, well, right out of the gates, I mean, the Rains defense was hanging with them. I mean, they force them into a 3-and-out. The initial snap goes right through the punter's legs and then out the back of the end zone, and bam, it's 2-0 Rains. So I'm like, okay, well, this is the Rains we know and love and expect to see. But I'll tell you what, man, that Orlando Jones defense combined with some ineptitude from the Rains offense just combined for what you saw. I mean, Rains was not able to do anything on offense. They tried a couple different quarterbacks. They tried to run the ball. They tried to throw the ball. Just were not able to move it at all. And after a while, I mean, that kind of caught up, and then the defense wasn't able to stop some big runs. Jones had a very talented running back. I believe he had 3 really long touchdowns to start off that first half, and they also had a pick 6. So Orlando Jones was able to run away from Rains. Now, is the sky falling for the Rains Vikings? I don't think so. I think there's a lot that has to do with it being the first game, facing an unfamiliar opponent who, by the way, won 10 games a year ago from Orlando. And those Orlando teams, if they win 10 games in the regular season, they're usually a pretty good team. They just always fail in the postseason. It's kind of the Orlando MO. But so I wouldn't bail on Rains just yet.
What other games did you go to? Rains loses 40-9. Tell us about the other stops.
So after that, I headed over to Bishop Kenny, my favorite view of all the fields in the area, because you're right there on the St. Johns River. Beautiful view of the bank in the background and both bridges, the Matthews and the Hart, which I'm currently going over right now. Shout out to the Hart Bridge. So I love going to Bishop Kenny just for that view alone. And they and Fletcher were going nose to nose, head to head, tail to tail, face to face. They were going back and forth, at least for while I was there. It was 7-7 at the half. I don't know if you have a more updated score, but I got to say, right out of the gates, first drive for Bishop Kenny, and you could kind of see, hey, Tim Krause is back. Of course, he was the offensive coordinator back in the day with Johnny Wolford and all those great talented players, Amon Fullwood, and all the guys who came through that program for the Crusaders. And that offense was zipping. They were humming. They go right down the field, had a bunch of nice chunk plays. Fletcher would eventually come back and tie it up while I was there. Had a beautiful pick six, which may be in the running for play of the week tonight on the Friday Night Blitz at 10:30 on Fox 30. Be sure to watch. So we may see that pick a couple times tonight on the show. And then Fletcher, they got a really talented running back as well, and a guy named Miles Montgomery. We saw it last week in the preseason kickoff classic against Bowles, and then again tonight against Bishop Kenny. This kid can run it, and obviously you got some hosses on that offensive line, some D1 guys, so that certainly doesn't hurt for Kevin Brown and the Senators. So not sure what the score was at last check, but I'm sure that's going to be a battle all the way down to the end based on those two teams.
All right, Action Sports Jack, Stuart Weber, nice job, man. He leads our coverage in high school football, and hustle back to the station, put it all together, and we'll see you on the Friday Night Blitz tonight, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Nice work, man.
Yeah, that's the plan. And one more shout-out, because I hit a third game as well. The Wolfson Wolfpack taking down Stanton 36-19. I'll tell you what, that crowd was jubilant. They were excited. They were going nuts. So shout-out to Wolfson. They're 1-0. How often can you say the Wolfpack are undefeated? A very prideful game for that team. It was really cool to see just how pumped those players and Coach Dennis Bettinger were. You'll hear from him tonight on the Blitz.
Congratulations to Wolfson. Nice job, Stuart Weber. We'll have a bunch of highlights from all the area games, including this one tonight on the Friday Night Blitz. That's Stuart Weber. Our halftime report continues from Lake City. Columbia leads it 17-7 over Trinity on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690.
Shoelace is a dolphin. How about that? Denora Robinson joins us on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Hey, man, this is pretty cool news.
But it's exciting just to be back around football again. So
Action Sports Jacks, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit this month. Sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 do-it signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration. With approved credit through AHFC. Lessee's responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
Football season is back. Almost. As we, the fans, anticipate the new season, Tailgaters Parking invites you to come experience the best tailgating at TIAA Bank Field. Tailgaters Parkers know that if you've never experienced Tailgaters Parking, you've never experienced tailgating at all. Tailgaters is on Talleyrand Avenue, right across from TIAA Bank Field. It's safe and secure with clean, permanent restrooms and a full-service bar and grill. Reserve your individual or group spaces now at tailgatorsparking.com.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Florida. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect. For officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Florida High School Athletic Association and the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Trinity Christian Band, Columbia High School Band, done performing at halftime, and we're almost ready for second half action here in Lake City. Brent Martineau along with Coach Kevin Sullivan, the Hall of Famer, here in Lake City at Columbia High School for our Game of the Week. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN at 690. You can get highlights and reaction tonight on the Friday Night Blitz as well on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Join us at 10:30 beginning on Fox 30. A couple minutes to go before kickoff of the second half. And a big thank you to all of our sponsors all fall long. Baker Sports. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game, looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker's Sports. And by the way, every Tuesday during this fall, we will have a Coach of the Week brought to you by Baker's Sports. Also, a big thank you to Mr. Chubby's Wings. 2 locations on the west side and in Fleming Island, and Lusab Honda at the Avenues. Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan. Okay, let's go back to Lusab Honda at the Avenues. Keys to the game from our pregame show. And how did those 2 teams out here perform, and what do they need to do in the second half to live up to your keys to the game, Coach?
All right, well, our key to the game was the defense for Trinity being able to stop the passing game of Lake City, and they have at times, but they've done a good job of nickel and diming them and then hitting them with the quick screens out of the backfield and caught them a couple times in all-out blitzes. So that part, as far as what Trinity's done defensively, they've done a good job. They haven't really given up a big play except for the busted coverage early in the game. But again, I believe that they've got to continue to keep doing that, but they've got to get a little bit better offensively to help counteract. Their defense was on the field an awful lot, and I think with them not having a lot of great depth, that sort of hurt them, especially there in the middle of the second quarter. You know, those 17 unanswered points. And then on the flip side, it was the front of the Trinity's offensive line against the Lake City guys, and Trinity's ability to throw the ball. And I don't think they've completed but maybe 1 pass in the first half. So they've got to get back to do what they do offensively. They've had some good runs. They haven't been able to sustain drives. Either there's been a penalty or then they've given up a sack. So I think they're going to open up the playbook a little bit in the second half. But they've done a real good job. The secondary of Columbia has done a really nice job, and Columbia's front has done a really good job against Trinity's offensive line.
A couple scores to pass along. Stuart Weber just told us about Reigns losing to Orlando Jones 40-9 at the Graveyard tonight, defending 2-time state champs. Reigns falls in the opener in 2019. Stanton and Wolfson. How about Wolfson? Getting it done. They beat the Blue Devils 36-19. That's a big win for the Wolfpack tonight. You'll see the reaction on the Friday Night Blitz a little bit later. Stuart Weber was at that game. And another score to pass along. Oakleaf starting to pull away from Orange Park. That was close going into the half. 17-14, now 37-14 as the Knights, very talented team, lead at 37-14 with 1:05 to go in the third. That update just a couple moments ago, and actually Matty Miller corrects it. Thanks for sharing it. 36-14, not 37-14. Might have counted an extra point in there.
Might have.
A little bit early. You can't always do that
on the
high school level.
And you've got the that was a big win for Wolfson. Got another big win tonight for Inglewood over Paxson. That's a good job for JD. Coach JD over there at Inglewood, trying to get that program back a little bit. And we've got them later on down the road, don't we, Brent?
We do. We have Inglewood at Ponte Vedra. And once again, this is our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week. And what we're doing is going to all different places. We'll be in 6 different counties, 2 different states. We'll go to Camden County for a game. Next week, we will be at Yulee and Fernandina Beach. The week after that, at Creekside against Bartram Trail. That one will be at Bartram Trail, a big battle in St. Johns County. And we will have a bunch of different games. You can see the schedule. Follow us on our social media channels, of course. But we'll be everywhere all fall long. It will be a lot of fun. And this one, our debut. We're having fun with it. It's a good matchup, and it's 17-7 right now. Columbia High School beating Trinity as well, they're taking their time getting ready for the second half kickoff of this one, but we're about to make it happen here at Columbia High School in Lake City. Having some fun or what?
Yeah, this is great. I'll tell you one thing that's sort of nice. We got a nice breeze blowing. It's not near as hot and muggy as it usually is this time of year.
We did our show today, 3 to 6, on the back of my tailgate, and it was about 100 degrees. I mean, it was hot. My face is still feeling it, I think. But toasty day in the Jacksonville area. It's obviously August in Florida. I get it. But beautiful night, like you said.
Yeah, it is.
And it's really good because I don't see a lot of cramping and guys coming off the field like that. Now, that doesn't mean it's not happening, but I don't see a lot of that, and that's good because that means teams are hydrating. These hydration timeouts might be working. And speaking of guys that were banged up, keep an eye on Caleb Killian, who scored the touchdown for Trinity, the lone touchdown on the first play from scrimmage for the Conquerors. Well, he came up a little gimpy late in the first half, and he was working that out during the halftime session. So we'll see what happens in the second half with Killian. He's a playmaker. Trinity will get the ball first to start the second half. Brent Martin along with Kevin Sullivan, 17-7. Columbia leads it, and kicking off, Fred Davis deep for the Conquerors. They'll kick it to Fred on the near side around the 7-yard line. Davis tries to cross the 20, but he won't even get, he will get to the 20-yard line once again. Super impressive. That's when you know teams are well coached. The kickoff return game and the kickoff coverage teams have been really good for both teams.
Both teams, very good. And that's been, the special teams has been big. Field position's been big. Lake City's done a good job of punting. Trinity's done a real good job of punting. But the kick coverage has been tremendous. I don't think anybody's got past the 25 on the return game, So we'll see what we got, see what Trinity's going to do coming out in the second half. And they got to get something going.
So Trinity will start from their own 20-yard line, going left to right. If you're listening on your radio dial on ESPN 690 AM, wearing their white tops, blue pants, blue helmet. Ja'Cory Jordan in the shotgun once again. He gives it to Herndon, I believe it is, across the 20 up to about the 24-yard line on the inside handoff.
Yeah, they've been working that little rat play, little inside rat play. Again, double down on nose, turn out on 5, wrap the guard in. And Herndon does a good job. He expands it and then sticks his foot in the ground and gets north and south. So they're going to stay. They're staying on the game plan again.
Well, there's no team need to panic. Plenty of time in the game,
plenty of time. They've been down before. This is the first time. They're used to playing good teams, big games.
We'll talk a little bit later in the broadcast about their schedule. It might be the toughest in the country. So here we go, 2nd down and 6 for Trinity Christian. Out of the shotgun, Jordan. He looks down the middle, and he's got Burke. Burke hangs it across the 40, now across midfield, and that's a beautifully thrown ball by Jordan. Nice catch by Burke, and that's a big gainer of about 30 yards for Trinity Christian.
Yeah, I tell you, they've done a good job on trying to get him the ball in that. That's about the 4th time they've thrown that. Shaheem Brown has done a really good job that time. Burke got the best of him this time, but Shareem's done a good job earlier in the first half. So they got a little life. They get a little bit more bounce, a little bit more energy. So let's see if they can keep moving it.
They've been on Columbia's side of the field a couple of times, but then they get knocked backward with a sack or a penalty and haven't been able to convert. Let's see if they can. Now, Trinity Christian from the 47 of Columbia, hand off to Herndon. Herndon escapes a tackle up the middle and now gets down to the 42-yard line. So a pickup of about 5 yards for Herndon.
Well, I think we might have just had our first cramper. You were talking about nobody cramping.
I did.
So that's the thing coming out of breaks. You've been playing, you get the adrenaline, and then you get in there, and then you don't take care of your body, and you don't drink enough fluids, then you're coming out going full go. So that looked like one of the linebackers or the safeties limping off the field right there.
10:15 to go as we just started the third quarter. 17-7, Columbia in the lead by 10, but Trinity Christian driving. 2nd and about 6 from the 43-yard line of Columbia. Trayon Webb, the freshman, in the backfield with Ja'Cory Jordan. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Jordan looks left and has a man, and Fowler is going to make the catch for a first down to the 35-yard line and make it the 36. Trinity Christian on the move with another first down.
Yeah, they're getting Fowler involved this time. The helmet came off, so they got to take him out for a play. In high school, your helmet comes off, you got to get out for a play. They had to rotate a guy in. But, again, first time they've gotten him involved. And, again, they're coming out, getting a little passing game going, and that's what they need to do, being aggressive.
First time we call Jalen Fowler's name here tonight. Number 88 for Trinity Christian makes the catch for a first down, and that was a pickup of about 8 yards. They will put the nose of the ball at the 35-yard line of Columbia. So Trinity Christian on the move inside 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, down by 10. Receiver right, 2 to the left. Jordan, inside handoff to Herndon. Actually, it's Webb, and he makes a cutback, and look at the freshman go. Stays on his feet inside the 30, and it might be a fumble. Was he down, or is the ball loose? We'll wait for the officials.
I didn't see a beanbag, so usually a beanbag gets thrown if it's a fumble.
I think they'll call it second down, so either Trinity recovered or it was no fumble. We still really haven't seen much of a signal other than the second down signal from the officials, so that was a nifty little run.
Yeah, nice run.
Picked up about 6. but it felt bigger than that.
Yeah, it was a really good job. He did a nice job. He hit it in, and then he bounced it a little bit and then bend it back. And he just got to hold on to the ball. Even though he was down, you got to hold on to that ball.
Trayon Webb, he's talented. Played as an 8th grader behind Marcus Crowley a year ago. Now his 9th grade season, and just broke off a nice little 6-yard run to set up 2nd and 4. Trinity keeps the football. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and here's Webb. He gets it again up the middle. Might scoot ahead for 2 to 3 yards, and it'll be closer to another first down for Trinity Christian as another helmet goes flying.
Yeah, it looks like Webb's helmet came off, so Herndon's coming back in.
Actually, I think that was an offensive lineman, Coach.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I think that's Josh Luxembourg.
Yep, Luxembourg coming off with a helmet coming off.
Getting feisty in the trenches.
Yep, that happens in there. Usually it's those defensive linemen pushing up on those helmets.
Luxembourg just came off the field, said to Coach Dormany, hands to the face.
Yes.
I guess if your helmet goes flying and you're an offensive lineman, he probably did have hands to the face.
Big third down here. Big third down.
Now 4 down territory, you would think. Down by 10
definitely.
in this position of the field. So it's 3rd and about 3 from the 28-yard line of Columbia. Trinity Christian driving. Ja'Cory Jordan with 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. The snap is low. He handles it, though, and now is being pressured, gets rid of it, gets it over to Herndon, and that will go nowhere. I got to tell you what, Jordan did a nice job to at least complete the pass back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1, because that play was busted from the start.
Yeah, that's our boy at 44, Pons again, coming off the edge up top, along with Kamel, the South Florida commit, coming off the edge up top. So they did a nice job of forcing it, and he did a good job of scrambling, buying a little bit of time and getting that ball out. But now we got a big 4th down play here. Big 4th down.
33-yard line, the ball is placed. And so it will be 4th and 3 for Trinity Christian. That last snap was a low one. Jordan looks like he might be limping a little bit, too. We'll see. Jordan in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Herndon now has it. They give it to him off to the right side, and he's got the first down right across the 25-yard line. So a nice, powerful run by Herndon. And Trinity Christian stays in business with another first down.
Yeah, that was a really good job. They brought the pulling guard, Michael Trimble, around on that play. He got a good, nice seal on the defensive end. Herndon be able to stick his foot in the ground and get the first down.
Kewan Herndon utilized a bunch tonight. Hasn't been able to really break loose. Caleb Killian, the one time, broke loose for a touchdown. That was the first play from scrimmage for Trinity Christian from 42 yards out. They haven't scored since, but they're marching now. 6:41 to go in the third, 17-7. Columbia leads it by 10. Trinity Christian at the 24 on 1st and 10. They give it to Killian on the sweep. Killian has a little room, but nice job by the linebackers of Columbia along the left side, far hash, and they bring Killian down after he gains a couple.
Yeah, they again run the jet sweep with Killian coming across. I think that one might have been Derek Johnson coming off from the safety spot, getting downhill, making thing. Another guy just went off cramping. We were talking about nobody cramping.
This is about the time, too.
I think Collins just went off the field. The safety just came off the field.
I spoke too early on that because this is about the time you start to get them, right in the second half. 2nd down and let's call it 8 from the 21-yard line of Columbia. Handoff.
Oh, good tackle.
And it looks like Porter that time gets the ball for the first time this game, and a nice job by Columbia tripping up Porter.
Yet Dante Brown on the tackle. First time we called his name tonight. Came down, they did a nice job. Again, another fresh leg back. You know, in a game like this, you can keep running and pounding, and you keep those guys fresh. And he gets his first carry of the night, Porter.
Yeah, we've seen Trayon Webb, the freshman, Kobe Brown a little bit. Kewan Herndon's had a bulk of the carries, and now Fernando Porter in the game there. But it brings up a 3rd down, and let's call it 6 from the 19-yard line of Columbia. Shotgun for Ja'Cory Jordan. He hands it off to Porter, and that's going absolutely nowhere. And guess who again? Levante Camille, the South Florida commit. He's all fired up because he just stuffed the run and forces a 4th down.
Yeah, I think he did a real good job. He got off the block and then knifed down inside and had to stop it. So I think they're going to kick the field goal here, try to pick up 3 and get this a 1-score game.
Clayton Wrong has been fantastic so far tonight. He is the kicker and the punter for Trinity Christian. But this one will be well earned if he can get 3. It's going to be from about 41 yards out.
Luxembourg, the snapper here.
4:35 to go and counting in the third quarter. Trinity trails by 10, trying to kick a field goal. The field goal is
no good.
Maybe partially blocked. Either that or it was a low-line driver, and no good, not even close. Wrong, can't connect, and Columbia does it again. Comes up big in a big-time moment. No points on the board for Trinity. A good-looking drive stymied, and Columbia will get the football back.
Yeah, that was a really good job. They ate up about 6.5 minutes of the clock, 7 minutes of the clock, getting it down there. But again, they can't convert when they need it inside the 30-yard line as they're moving in for points. I think they've done a good job, a little bit better job rotating their backs. But you know, they got to keep that pressure on and keep going.
We got a hydration timeout, or do we? Actually, let's keep it here. I don't think we do right now. Just a timeout on the change of possession.
But see, that's what Trinity's game plan is: get some first down, eat up some clock, keep their kids fresh. We saw, everybody got a couple carries, kept them fresh. But then when they've got to get the play, they can't make the play. So they've got to keep working on that. So they should be fresh, excited defensively. Got a chance to pin them back here.
4:27 to go in the third quarter, 17-7. It was a good-looking drive by Trinity Christian, but no points, so they still trail by 10 against the homestanding Columbia High School Tigers. Tigers take over on their own 20-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Jordan Smith, who's been fantastic tonight, in the shotgun with a running back next to him. Fakes the handoff down the middle to Lenedrick Bradley, and Bradley with a quick slant play picks up a big chunk of 16 yards and a first down for Columbia High.
Yeah, he did a good job, little RPO there. They came on the blitz, little inside slant, and got the ball right in there. Perfect ball, perfect shot, and looks like we got another guy cramping coming off now. Trinity's first guy come off. Brett, you spoke too soon, man.
Tell me to never say that again, because since I said no cramping so far, we've had 4 guys go out of this game in the second half, and it's hot. It's humid. It's been hot all day. It's August in Florida, and you're going to get some of that, and we're getting it right now here at Columbia High School. So drink up, hydrate.
Yep, that looks like
get that cramp.
That looks
fixed.
like 13. Lucas Lattimore came off with a little bit of a cramp right there.
A big play by Lenedrick Bradley. He didn't have a cramp. Instead, he's got a first down. 17-7. Approach the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left from their own 36-yard line. Jordan Smith has it in the shotgun, going deep down the field, and there's some contact, and then a catch. Is that Marquez Bell?
No, that's
Jaden Williams instead. What a play. It looked like he and Corey Coley had collided.
Yes.
Instead,
really good coverage by Coley, too.
Williams wins the battle, makes a big play, and now into Trinity territory. Here's the up-tempo. Jordan Smith ready to snap it once again after the first down. Hand off to Callum, and he is met immediately. Johnson with the tackle.
Yeah, again, they're going a little bit faster, trying to wear Trinity down. Trinity, they've done a good job, but I'll tell you what, Coley had really good coverage right there, He had really good coverage on that. So I was really, kid made a play. That's what you're supposed to do.
That was a pickup of 24 yards on that pass and catch after a 16-yard pass and catch, so big chunks. By the way, C.J. Ross on that last tackle. Shotgun once again on 2nd down and 8. Quick play over the middle, and now a flag thrown right in the area of holding or hands to the face. We'll see what the officials have to say. Incomplete pass.
It was incomplete again. Now, Trinity's changed a little bit. They're playing a lot more man, and they're bringing extra pressure. Playing one guy in the middle. They're trying to occupy the gaps to get a little bit more pressure. So they're throwing those little quick slants where they get a little isolation with the inside receiver on the safety.
Well, sure looked like an area of holding, and it was on the offensive line. So that will back Columbia up to midfield and present a 2nd and 19 situation for the Tigers, who lead it 17-7, 3:09 to play in the third quarter. Jordan Smith has been fantastic. Bradley goes in motion. Smith has it in the shotgun that gets the snap, finds a little room, now dances to his left, trying to wait, throws it down the field, has a receiver but overthrows him by a step or two, and now we might have a roughing the passer penalty, and Jordan Smith is clapping his hands, so that's going to be 15 for Columbia.
Yeah, that looked like a little unnecessary push there on number 8, Tristan Herndon. And that's going to hurt right there.
Killer penalty for Trinity Christian because that would have set up 3rd and 19, Coach.
Yes.
That's one of those where Verlin Dormany just puts his face in his hands.
Yep, that's where you can't beat yourself in that spot. Unnecessary penalty. Now it's instead of 3rd and 19, it's 1st and 10 on the 35 going in, and you guys have been playing. They've been playing really solid.
Overall, I've been impressed with the discipline of both teams.
Yes.
I mean, there's been some penalties, but overall the discipline's been pretty good. So now it's a 1st and 10 from the Trinity 35 for Columbia. Bradley gets the handoff, running from his left, now tries to cut it back in the middle, escapes the tackler, still on his feet, across the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Lenadrick Bradley, he's a slippery one.
I tell you what, I'm pretty impressed with him. You know, he's a big physical runner, but he's got great soft hands. But they sort of like, all right, we got him down, we got to take him to the ground, get that tackle.
What's the number one word for coaches? Finish.
Yes.
And Trinity Christian did not finish. Instead, it's a big gain again, 1st down and 10. Call it the 19-yard line of Trinity. Columbia on the move and quick tempo. Williams goes in motion. Now the fake pitch, and Jordan Smith keeps it. He's got a hole, and he might have a touchdown. He walks into the end zone. He had to make one man miss, and he did it. Jordan Smith, the South Florida commit, putting on a show for Columbia High School. It's 23-7 in favor of the Tigers.
I'll tell you what, that was a really good drive for them. They got everybody involved. They got the wideouts involved on that. They got the running backs involved, and, of course, the quarterback. I thought they did good. But, again, it goes back to the penalty. Instead of 3rd and 19, it's 1st and 10, and 2 plays later they score.
Bryant Brigden will come on and attempt the extra point to make it a 24-7 game if he can knock it through. And 2:24 to go in the 3rd quarter. Jordan Smith, he's a fantastic player, fun to watch, and he's proven so tonight. The snap, the hold is good. The kick is up, and it is good. Nice kick by Brigden. 24-7. Columbia leads it by 17 here in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a timeout on the Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week here on ESPN 690.
Oh, that hurt.
He's saying they thought by sending me to Cleveland, even though they made the best deal clearly for themselves in their mind, you thought that you were sending me to Cleveland, you were sending me to purgatory.
The Stephen A. Smith Show, weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport, Baker Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports.
Welcome back to our Game of the Week in Lake City. Columbia High School leads it 24-7 over Trinity Christian, and really the best game on paper in the state of Florida to start the regular season in the FHSAA. Just scored 2:24 to go in the 3rd, and now we get the kickoff. It's a short one by Columbia. The ball will go out of bounds around the 17-yard line. And I think it might have touched a Trinity Christian player before doing so. I don't see a flag.
No, I think it did. I think it hit him and then went out of bounds because the official motioned for the clock to start. So that means it must have been touched. So
another mishap for Trinity Christian on that one.
Yeah, and they still didn't get the ball past the 20. So we haven't had a ball past the 20 on the kickoff on either side. You know what I mean? So it'll be good. We got to see them come back. They're going to have a little bit more urgency now. Trinity's got to have a little bit more urgency, stay in the game plan, and just keep playing.
What has worked recently is getting the ball to Marcus Burke, number 4 for Trinity Christian. We'll see if Ja'Cory Jordan can do that. Out of the shotgun, Jordan hands off to Herndon. Herndon has a little bit of a seam up the middle, stays on his feet, and up to the 25-yard line. That's a good, tough run before he's finally brought down by a host of Columbia tacklers, and that could be a first down. It's certainly close to one. Gain of 9, we'll call it, and I think we have another cramp from a Columbia High School player.
We might have 2 of them.
I'm about to get a cramp, Coach.
Better drink some water, man. You got to get some water.
We do have some. Well, we have some Diet Coke, too. But we do have some water as well. Hey, thanks for listening and watching. You can listen, of course, if you are right now on ESPN 690 AM on the radio side. You can also listen to the stream, ESPN690.com. And you can listen and watch on various platforms like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, on Periscope as well. Follow along. We'll do this all fall. A game of the week, a different place every Friday night. All fall here on Action Sports Jacks and our game of the week. Having a lot of fun with it. Brent Martineau along with Coach Kevin Sullivan. Spent some time coaching at Jackson there on Main Street. Spent some time at Atlantic Coast and recently with the Ed White Commanders. Retired again. The Hall of Famer joins us in the booth. And it's good to have Kevin Sullivan along with us. And we're at a dandy tonight.
If you would have done this 4 years ago, I would have never got back in then.
You might not. This is your second retirement. You're right. That's a good call right there. We should have started a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
We could have saved you a couple of L's.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Some gray hair. Speaking of Ed White, they got a big win tonight over First Coast 14-6.
Wow, good to see.
Yes.
For your friends over there at Ed
yes,
White.
Sir.
Well, here we go. Second down. And this time, at second down and 1, Herndon gets stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. That was just a basic handoff, but Columbia's interior has been so good at various times tonight, and on that play they were once again, so it sets up 3rd and short.
Yeah, I think that was Devon Banks on the tackle right there.
Banks and Pons have been good, huh?
Yes, the inside guys. Big third down
Of course,
here.
Camille's been all over the place on big-time plays.
He's out now because he was one of the crampers. So you're not allowed to mention that anymore, cramping.
I'm not. You're doing it now. I'm not doing it anymore.
All right. See what we got.
Hey, big 3rd down and short for Trinity Christian. They trail by 17 with a minute and a half to go in the 3rd quarter. Jordan out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 to his right. He hands off to Herndon, who cuts back in the middle and crosses the 25-yard line and the 26. That will pick up the 1st down and move the chains for Trinity Christian, I think.
Nope.
Well, they call it 4th down, Coach. Wow. Bad depth perception up here. I thought for sure that was a 1st down given where that marker is.
Yeah, I thought so too, and he stretched it out, but they're going to go for it, which
they got to do it.
Oh, they're going to measure this. Let's see what we got.
Maybe I'm right after all this. I just want to be right here. Let's see if they will measure. We got an official's timeout with 1:03 to go in the 1st half. 24-7, Columbia High School in the lead over Trinity Christian.
So it looks like it's going to be, it's going to be close.
And if you're watching on the video feeds right now, we got a host of young fellas making their way across the bleachers. So hang with us on that side of things. The measurement comes up just short?
Yeah, it looks like it's about a half inch.
Well, that's the QB sneak all the way, right?
It should
4th
be, but
and
they
short?
don't get much up. They don't get up under center much. So that's not something they've done. We haven't seen really either side get up under center.
This is the ball game potentially right here, even in the 3rd quarter with a minute to go. 4th and short on their own 27-yard line. Trinity Christian needs a couple of inches, and they're going for it. Ja'Cory Jordan out of the shotgun. Herndon in the backfield. He'd give to Herndon, and he crosses the 25, but he did not get it. He does not get the 1st down, and how about Columbia High School? They come up big once again. A host of Columbia players with the penetration. And Shaheem Brown, I think, made the play to force the turnover.
Yep, I think Shaheem came in down there hard. Pons was in there on the inside. The middle linebacker came down. It was a pretty good play, and I think they sniffed that out from the jump because they were coming. They were down there. There was no pass threat out on that. They were bringing the ball down in there, and they were actually – hoping they'd throw it. They had everybody up. They had all 8 guys up in the box. So.
And out of the shotgun, no QB sneak, of course. So even with inches to go, they just don't operate under center very much. So turnover on downs. Columbia now has it at the 25-yard line of Trinity Christian. Looking for the kill shot, up 24-7. Jordan Smith on the run, rolls left, under pressure, throws it downfield, incomplete. And it will bring up 2nd down. As a nice job in coverage by Trinity Christian. There was really nothing doing the entire play for Columbia.
Looks like we got a penalty down there on the field. I didn't see anything. It seems to be up top. It might be a sideline warning. Let me see what they got going on down
Where's
here.
the get back coach?
Oh, they got holding, defensive holding on Trinity. Defensive holding.
Another mistake for Trinity Christian.
Yeah, so that'll be a first down, 10-yard penalty, first down, defensive holding.
Well, that will get it down to the 15-yard line for Columbia now. Again, they got a chance to put this thing away. Trinity needs a big play on defense. 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. 24-7, Columbia in the lead. Now has the ball at the Trinity 15-yard line. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left, a back in the backfield, and it's given to Johnson in the backfield, and there's another flag. I think they'll blow this play dead. My bad. That was Jalen Brown.
Might have been a shift.
Not Jordan Johnson on the carry. Jalen Brown, the sophomore, instead. But the play is dead anyway, and it will be false start against the Tigers, so we'll march them back 15. So here we go. Give 10, take 5.
Yeah, it looked like Brian Green might have got a little excited right there and jumped to the wideout on the side closest to us. So what do we got now? 1st and 15. Come on, we got to get it. Trinity's got to get a stop here. Again, they've done a better job keeping some pressure on right here. So let's see what they're going to do.
But can they contain Jordan Smith? He's been tough to contain all evening long, through the air and with his legs. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Columbia up 24-7. Shotgun snap. Now the pitch was a dangerous one to Brown, but Brown has some room on the right side. Turns the corner, down to the goal line, and that's going to be a touchdown. Columbia High School, the sophomore, showed the burst around the right edge, and he scores from 20 yards out.
I'll tell you what, they've run that play twice, and Jalen's faked that pitch and then taken off and run. And that time, Jordan Smith sort of faked it and then threw it.
It was a dangerous pitch, too.
Very dangerous.
That defender was
but
close.
When you're up by a couple touchdowns, you even take those chances. You're feeling pretty good about yourself.
Well, and you see the talent right there that they talk about with Brown. Yeah, he's just a sophomore. And Brian Allen says this kid's got some goods, and everybody's already looking at Brown.
He's got a good motor to see that burst when he got up on the edge over there, so that was a pretty good job.
Extra point is up, and it's good. So all of a sudden, Brian Brigden doing a nice job. Those kicks are looking good. Everything working for Columbia High School. They are now in the lead, 31-7, and the route is on here in Lake City. 31-7, Tigers over Trinity Christian. We'll take a quick timeout here on the Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690.
I just don't know that there was a city that would be really excited about Rick Pitino. What has he accomplished in the pros that would suggest that it's worth taking on all of the baggage that he comes with?
The Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit. This month, sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 do-it signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration, with approved credit through AHFC. Lessee's responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
Welcome back to our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week, 31-7. Columbia might have just put the game away with 21 seconds to go in the third quarter. 31-7 over Trinity Christian. Our Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau along with Coach Kevin Sullivan. Have to be impressed with the Tigers so far, and maybe even a little surprised with Trinity.
Yeah, I think they've done a really good job. They've had a really good game plan. They've stuck on it. Their special teams have been good. Offensively, they've been good. Defensively, I think they've got to be pleased defensively with what they've done.
Well, Fred Davis, who's been pretty quiet tonight, gets another chance. Catches that at the 10-yard line on the kickoff. Goes left, crosses the field, now crosses the 20 to the 25, and finally, the Trinity Christian Conquerors will start from around the 25-yard line. They've had not so great field position the entire night.
No, they haven't. Like I said, the kicking game's been really solid to help them as far as that goes. But again, I think offensively, Trinity hasn't really got into any kind of really good, solid flow tonight. They've had some good runs, they've sustained some drives, and then they'll have one thing that sets them back. And they don't seem to be in a good flow offensively. Where on the other side, Columbia's been in really good flow. They've sort of doing what they want to do now.
Big plays have been made by Columbia on the defensive line, especially guys like Pons and Camille have been so good. Shaheem Brown has quietly had a really nice night on the edge for Columbia's defense. So here Trinity goes from their own 25. Herndon escapes a tackler, goes backwards and then forwards over to the right and the near side, and now crosses the 25 and maybe picks up 2. He ran a lot for a couple of yards. And that will be the last play of the third quarter. Actually, there'll be a penalty marker before we run the quarter out.
Well, we got a
and also another cramp.
You can always see if he's hurt by the cramp, by the way the foot sticks up or the way they go down. Or the way the kid goes down, he starts to do the straight leg walk, and then boom, he goes down.
It's tough. Anybody who's had him,
yes,
they know it is not a fun thing to experience the cramp. Get some potassium.
Yes.
Get those cramps out.
That's the hard thing, too, especially on the first day. The adrenaline and everything, especially during the school day, because, they probably had pep rally.
Yeah,
everybody
they did.
Gets
they
jacked.
did here at Lake City, Columbia.
Everybody gets jacked up during the day, and you're all excited. So, you're up and down all day, and that burns a lot of energy, and they got to take care of their body. That's probably the hardest thing as a coach. You can preach that, hey, you got to take care of your body on Thursday night. You got to take care of your body Thursday morning, Thursday night, Friday morning. But it's hard that these 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, get them to understand that.
Trying to find out who's down. It's really hard to see some of the numbers for Columbia High School as the night gets longer and deeper into the night here at Lake City.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
But no doubt a cramp. And he's now walking off the field. So
all right,
get rolling with the final 7 seconds of the third quarter. Once again, 31-7 our score. Remember now, Trinity Christian scored the first 7 points of this one. Caleb Killian with a 42-yard run on the first play from scrimmage for Trinity, and then 31 unanswered for Columbia since then. And that will do it for the end of the third quarter. 4 fingers go up on both sidelines, but a little more energy on the Columbia High School sideline as the Tigers lead it 31-7. Our game of the week on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. One more quarter to go right after this.
Ryan O'Halloran from the Denver Post, beat writer for the Broncos.
But maybe Cam need that little bit of a kick in the rear end, because over a 48-hour span where Doug is saying probably not for Kansas City, and all of a sudden he's out there with a helmet.
Action Sports Jacks, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Hey, it's Mike Golick from Golick & Wingo. Thanks for making ESPN 690 the fastest-growing sports station in Jacksonville. Clearly, it's because I'm on every morning from 6 till 10 a.m. But this isn't about me. It's about your business. Get your business noticed today. First Coast is making the switch to ESPN 690, and there's no better time to get on our team than right now. Call ESPN 690 today, 245-8732. That's 245-8732. Grow your business today on the new ESPN 690.
Welcome back as we begin the fourth quarter. Ja'Cory Jordan for Trinity Christian in the shotgun, but he'll be sacked, and now the ball's loose on the ground, and Columbia picks it up, but they'll blow the play dead. Ja'Cory Jordan still down on the ground.
Oh, man, I hope he's not hurt that bad.
At about the 21-yard line, he was sacked from behind. Once again, pressure from Columbia in the first play of the fourth quarter as we welcome you back to Lake City. Columbia leads it 31-7, and now everybody takes a look at Jordan. I think he might be cramping, and another Columbia player cramping as well. So the cramping is certainly taking its toll in the second half after a hot day in Jacksonville, all the emotions of the opener, the emotions of this game, 2 of the top 10 ranked teams in the state. And we've seen the guys go down left and right because of the cramps. That's the good news, though. At least they're going down because of the cramps.
Right.
Those can be fixed.
Right. Not anything more major. It seems to be cramping on both sides. And again, as hot as it is, and you get the adrenaline in the game, what we were just talking about, they got to be able to. It's tough, man. It's tough on kids. They get so excited, especially week one. They got to take care of their bodies. He's jogging off right now and get him a little. Get them a little Gatorade, a little more water in, and see what we're going to do here.
Well, what it will do is bring up a 3rd and 13 for Trinity Christian, and they'll have Ja'Cory Jordan out of the game because he has to leave the field after getting attended to with the cramp.
All right, we'll see what we're going to get here. Both teams coming out. They might take a little extended water break today. That's what the officials usually do if they start getting a lot of cramping.
They can do that.
Yeah.
11:50 and the clock rolling now in the fourth quarter. 31-7, Columbia leads. I think they're going to put Caleb Killian in at quarterback. Or is it Fred Davis?
Looks like Fred Davis.
Yeah, it looks like Davis. The star cornerback, who we've really talked little about tonight. Clemson commit, 5-star.
Right.
And Miles Brooks have been pretty quiet, and Columbia has avoided him. Brooks going to Georgia Tech. Davis takes the snap, hands off to Herndon. Herndon now, actually it's Webb. Webb now breaks to the left side. He might have enough room to break away. Up around the 50-yard line on the near side, and the freshman found a little bit of a hole, and on 3rd and long, converts.
Yeah, a really good block out there by the wideout Merritt, too, out there, 88. I believe he did.
Fowler, yeah.
Yeah, Fowler. Fowler did a really nice job, got on the inside leverage on this guy, pushed him, and that helped Webb get a little spot right there.
See if Ja'Cory Jordan gets back in the game or if Fred Davis will stay in at the quarterback spot. Once again, Webb, a freshman, played behind Marcus Crowley, who was our Friday Night Blitz Player of the Year a year ago. Now at Ohio State, he's a freshman. Well, Webb played as an 8th grader behind Crowley. He actually saw some varsity time. He's a talented kid. He's going to be a good one. He already is pretty good, but he's going to be a really good one once again at Trinity Christian. This field is littered with a lot of star players, guys going to college and playing some ball. 3 USF commits for Columbia. I mentioned Fred Davis going to Clemson. Georgia Tech for Miles Brooks. Ole Miss commit with Kewan Herndon.
Yes.
I mean, they are all over the place. So college coaches know these two programs pretty well.
Yeah, very, very much so. And a rich tradition, too. I mean, on both sides, especially like you talked about the DBs that have come through Trinity the last few years have been tremendous. And Lake City always has guys. They've been having guys for 20, 30 years going way back. And the head coach, Brian Allen, being one of them, going to Florida State. So like Amari Farrell, 21, went off the field for Lake City. So it looks like Brooks is still in the game at quarterback.
Fred Davis, yeah. Fred Davis in the game. The cornerback, the star cornerback, playing quarterback because Ja'Cory Jordan is still on this near sideline working out that cramp in his left calf, and he hasn't been able to do so just yet. Still, 1st down now for Trinity as they try to make something happen quick. 11 minutes to go in the game. Down by 24. Webb swallowed up after a bad snap. He was handed the ball, but Columbia was in the backfield by the time he got it and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. I think he might have lost a half a yard.
Yeah, you can see even though it's sort of they've got a few more guys to roll in on the Columbia side, so they just bring in another fresh body, and Trinity's got to go in and use some of their defensive guys over on offense to help them with some of the cramping stuff. But hopefully they continue to work through the cramps and get back in the game.
Tillotson credited with the tackle that time. 2nd and let's call it 11 from Trinity's 46-yard line. Fred Davis, the star cornerback, in at quarterback for a cramping Ja'Cory Jordan. Actually, that's Herndon now. Direct snap to Herndon. Davis went out of the game, and Herndon ran it around the left side. Cross midfield.
Yeah, a little quarterback power there.
It picks up about 6.
Yep, did a nice little job in there. Little change of pace. Guy used to catching the ball. Gets in it in the Wildcat stuff. And so again, this is 2-down territory here, Brent, for him, right?
Absolutely. 3rd and about 5 now, and Ja'Cory Jordan a little bit limping on that cramping left calf, comes back into the game for this play. Inside 10 minutes to go, 31-7. Columbia leads Trinity Christian in our game of the week on ESPN 690. Trinity trying to make something happen. Haven't scored since their opening play of 2019. It was a 42-yard touchdown run, and now a pass out to Herndon on the right side, and he picks up a 1st down, maybe gains good 12 yards down to the 34-yard line. So Trinity once again gets a drive going.
Yep.
Can they finish it off is the question.
Yeah, that's been their problem. They've sort of gotten between the 30s tonight, but then they haven't been able to do too much when they've crossed over the 30. So again, the clock tick away and about 9 minutes left.
1st and 10, Ja'Cory Jordan in the game, completed that pass after missing a couple of snaps because of cramps. 9:18 to go in the game, 24-point deficit for Trinity Christian. Columbia's looked good here on opening night of the regular season in high school football in the state of Florida. Beautiful night in Lake City. Ja'Cory Jordan with trips to the left, drops back to pass, looks down the field. Burke has it knocked out of his hands. Triple coverage, and it looked like that was Brown once again, who's made a few plays in the secondary for Columbia.
Yeah, that's the play they hit earlier down the seam in there. This time they were able to knock the ball down. But again, they've been able to move the ball sort of to this part on the field, on both sides, and then they sort of seem to stall a little bit. And it could be their ineffectiveness, and it could be they just sort of tighten up defensively for Lake City. So again, we're going to see what they've got going here.
That brings up 2nd down and 10 from the 34-yard line of Columbia. Trinity's been in Columbia's territory. They just have not been able to get in the end zone. Jordan drops back and then airmails a ball that would look to be intended for Fowler, and a bit of miscommunication on that play. Now a 3rd and long comes up for the Conquerors.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to bring some fresher personnel offensively in a little bit right here. They brought in Xander Ross, just came in the game. I haven't seen him too much tonight. It looks like they're going to call timeout, Trinity here. This is really 2-down territory.
Absolutely. Webb in there right now, and Fowler too, as Verlin Dormany wants a timeout with 9:05 to go. 31-7. Columbia in the lead. They scored 31 unanswered and looked really good tonight, the Tigers here at home in Lake City. Brent Martin along with Kevin Sullivan, our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. It doesn't get easier for Trinity. They might have the toughest schedule in the country, Coach, at Godby next week. Home against Ribault, home against American Heritage, Carroll City, Pahokee, Colquitt County up in Georgia, Lee, Booker T. Washington on the schedule, and then at Rains as well. Wow. Add up the state championships, add up the playoff berths. Man. It's a lot of them on that schedule.
That's a crazy schedule. Coach Dorman, being in 3A, they're not in a district, so remote, like a lot of different teams, they'll be in the district in 4A and 5A and 6A and be able to have 4 or 5 games already. Well, they don't have that luxury. And Lee will play them locally, Rains will play them locally, and Ribault will play them locally, but nobody else will.
With that schedule, you can win 3 games and probably go to the playoffs based on points.
Yes, based on points.
It's a powerful schedule.
There's a bunch of good people on that schedule.
And they'll have some fixes to make after tonight. Down 31-7 with 9:05 to go here in the ball game. 3rd and 10 from the 35. 3 wide receivers left. Ja'Cory Jordan gets a snap, looking left, throws it left, and it looks like it's picked off by Columbia. Another big play in the secondary by the Tigers. They get it done again. That time, Devin Johnson, the defensive back, a senior here at Columbia High School, makes the pick. And that one might put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, that was just not a very good thrown ball. It looks like he's tried to force that one in there. He got a little pressure. Then to top it off, they get a little frustration, get a little personal foul at the end of that play. And that might have been what sort of a frustrating night offensively for the quarterback, and I think that might have been the throw that showed it right there. He's trying to force that ball in there, trying to make something happen, and it gets intercepted.
Verlin Dormany in his 29th season, he's won 7 state championships. They've been to 9.
Right.
How about this? The 2 they lost, 1999, 2009. What year is it? 2019. He'd take a berth right in the state championship game. Everybody would at the start of the year. But a slow start to 2019 for Trinity Christian as 9 minutes to go in this one, and Columbia about ready to put a bow on win number 1 of the season for the Tigers, and it would be an impressive one as we have a new quarterback in the game, and that is Cade Jackson. He throws it left, and he's got a receiver, and we might be off to the races. It might be Bradley or Williams. I can't tell the number, but that's a quick one-play touchdown as Cade Jackson comes into the game, throws it left, and off to the races down the left sideline. It looks like Williams is in to make this route even bigger.
Yeah, just a little bubble screen out there. They're going to get a penalty.
Was it Williams? Was it Bradley again?
I think it was Bradley.
Yeah, because Williams in the middle of the field. 1 or 8.
Yeah, it's hard to see those numbers, Brent.
We get some more lights up here.
We need to put one in for us, just like a zoom light in there. But, again, just a quick little bubble screen. Got a good block by the wideout, and he just took it up the sideline. And so they're going to get a penalty for all those guys running down there and celebrating in the end zone. So, again, a little bit of a frustrating night. You don't see this often from a Trinity Christian team.
The score will be good. And it goes for 76 yards. Wow. It's a sideline infraction, unsportsmanlike for Columbia, but it will not negate the touchdown.
Yeah,
Cade Jackson goes into the game. They say, hey, let's give this guy some time. Jordan Smith comes out now that it's a route, and Jackson comes in. One little simple pass, and see you later down the left sideline for 76 yards, 66 yards.
Got to keep playing there. Got to keep playing.
Brian Brigden's had himself a pretty good ball game. That first one looked a little shaky. Missed the second one. But his extra points have looked pure since then. 38-7 now. Columbia High School all over Trinity Christian. You know the high school scene so well, Kevin Sullivan. You think this one will be surprising across the state of Florida?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, because, you're always playing on last year, and everybody knows Trinity, and everybody knows Lake City, Columbia. But I think everybody believed this would be a lot closer game, and we even believe that going out. But I think that they've got the quarterback that make it go. Special teams, they've been really solid. Defensively, they've made the plays when they had to. They bend a little bit, but they've made some really good plays, Lake City. And I think Trinity's going to have to get back in and get back to drawing on offense and, just keep going. Long season, a lot of things going on, long season. But I don't think anybody expected this.
Oh, you have to give a lot of credit to Columbia, too, and Brian Allen in his 9th season at Columbia High School. What a program he's built, obviously homegrown, played ball here, played at Florida State, played in the NFL for a few years, the linebacker, and he's got tough football. Always has, yeah. And year in, year out, they're a team you don't want to mess with, especially here at the Tiger Den at Columbia High School. And I bet this one was circled a little bit extra, especially coming off that loss a year ago at Trinity, the way it happened, losing on a 2-point conversion that was failed. And they turned the ball over 5 times against Trinity in that game. So this one much more clean, ready to go right from the outset, and they've looked sharp. It's not easy to look this sharp in the opening game. No. Hats off to Brian Allen and the rest of the coaching staff, because Columbia certainly looked that way.
Yeah, I'll give you an updated score. Fletcher's up 20-7 over Bishop Kenny in the 4th. And Creekside just went up 27-20 to Ribault in the 4th.
Creekside was down by a touchdown that game. They've scored a couple unanswered touchdowns. Kevin Brown in his final year at Fletcher trying to get off to a good start here in 2019. Once again, a reminder, you'll see highlights and reaction of this game tonight on the Friday Night Blitz, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. And we have games from all around the area tonight. So you will be able to watch those on the Blitz just about 40 minutes away. Kickoff from Columbia.
Hey.
Short one. Goes to about the 25-yard line. And now some open space for Porter. And he gets to about midfield as that's their best return of the night. It was a shorter kick and a 25-yard return for good starting field position for Trinity as they try to get something going, maybe a little bit of momentum into next week's tilt against Godby.
Yeah, that was probably the best start position they've had all night on kickoff return right there. So they've got to, they've just got to keep doing what they're doing, try to put a couple points on the board and get moving forward. So Baldwin 34-13 over Ridgeview in the 3rd quarter.
Scores continue to roll in. Remember the scattered start times. This one started at 7:30. A lot of 7 o'clock kicks. In Duval County this year, 6 o'clock games. So we are able to show more highlights on the TV side on CBS 47 and Fox 30, again, coming up on the Friday Night Blitz. Trinity Christian starts from about midfield. Porter, who just returned the kick, now has the handoff, shakes and bakes a little bit and crosses midfield for a couple of yards. It will bring up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, they're getting a couple other guys, a couple touches in there, but Porter's got a little bit of explosiveness and everything in there, and he's trying to get his time and get his name out and get him a little bit of movement. You always find some guys early in the year that you don't expect to be able to get in there and do something, and they've rotated a couple good backs in there and done a nice job right there. So I look forward to it.
They got some talent in that backfield. Kewan Herndon going to Ole Miss. Trayon Webb, the freshman, is super talented. 2nd and 8 from the 48. Low snap. Jordan handles it. Now escapes some pressure. Might have a holding call. Throws it down the field, and it's intercepted once again by Columbia. And what a game Shaheem Brown has had. Picks the ball off, and it looks like Columbia will get it back. Will await the penalty, but that's in the range of holding.
Yeah, I tell you, Brown's had a heck of a game. I think he's given up one pass reception. batted the ball around a few times. That's a pick. If the pick stands, we got to see what the penalty is. What do we got here?
Might have 2 penalties again because there's one down there at 24-yard line. Oh, there it is. Offsetting once again.
Again, but he caught that one, so you got to call those on that.
So offsetting penalties, that erases the Shaheem Brown interception. You're right. He's had a fantastic game, and he's been on Marcus Burke, talented receiver for Trinity Christian most of the night. So he's had a tough assignment. And Shaheem Brown, in a game where we talk a lot about the corners of Trinity Christian, it's been Brown for Columbia, who's been fantastic here on this Friday night to open the regular season in high school football in the state of Florida. So now it's 2nd and 7. They'll do it again from the 48. Trinity once again in Columbia territory. That's been a common theme. Stalling in Columbia territory has also been a common theme. The snap inside 8 minutes to go. Quick throw is caught for a few yards on the left side, the near hash.
Looks like number 16.
And it's Kensley Johnson. Yep. First time we've heard his name tonight.
But again, they're getting some guys in the game that weren't in the game earlier in the game. So maybe they're finding a couple guys that can give them something that they didn't expect, coming out. And again, they're getting a little bit of life, but we got to get a first down. We got to get the change the move. Got to put another score up on the board.
Well, it's a chance to grow some young guys and see your depth and keep guys healthy on the sideline, especially when there's so much cramping going on. As the clock continues to roll in the fourth quarter, 38-7, Columbia High rolling with 7:10 to go in the third. And on 3rd and short, another super defensive play by Columbia. Porter met at the line of scrimmage. Fulton making the tackle. Noah Ruiz was in on that as well.
We'll see if we can get a first down. 4th and 1 here again. Columbia's doing a good job rotating some other guys in and just trying to keep their guys fresh and keep them going.
So here we go. 4th and about a yard and a half for Trinity Christian from the 42 of Columbia. Jordan in the shotgun. Little jet sweep action and no good. Once again, Columbia comes up big. Larry Collins that time makes the stop. Turnover on downs for the second time in this game for Trinity Christian. And every time they need a big play, Columbia comes up with a big one. Collins all over Xander Ross on the sweep.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say enough about what they've done defensively. They've got some backups and stuff in, too. They've been rotate some guys and get some guys in the taste of it. They're not just having all the starters out, because Ponge went out to play before. So they brought some other guys in, and they just keep it going and keeping the pressure on. And, again, they're bringing guys in with fresh legs, and the O-line for Trinity's getting a little weary, too.
6.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of this one. Columbia 38-7. We have a water break here on our Game of the Week, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
I think Melo can still average 15 to 18 a game in the right system. But there's only one system, and that's wherever LeBron James is. I think that's Melo's last hope.
The Stephen A. Smith Show, weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Hey, it's Mike Golick from Golick and Wingo. Thanks for making ESPN 690 the fastest growing sports station in Jacksonville. Clearly, it's because I'm on every morning from 6 till 10 a.m. But this isn't about me. It's about your business. Get your business noticed today. First Coast is making the switch to ESPN 690, and there's no better time to get on our team than right now. Call ESPN 690 today, 245-8732. That's 245-8732. Grow your business today on the new ESPN 690.
Welcome back to our Game of the Week on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The route is on here in Lake City. Columbia High School beating Trinity Christian 38-7. Impressive performance from the Tigers. They just took over after a turnover on downs, picked up a handful of yards on first down, and Cade Jackson, backup quarterback for Columbia, goes back to work. It was a pretty nice start for Cade, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As he connected on a 66-yard touchdown on his first snap of the game on the last possession. 2nd down and 5. Cross midfield for a few more yards. after the handoff.
Trinity
That's Johnson for Columbia, who's getting some action now. Jordan Johnson for Columbia High School.
Yeah, Trinity rotating some guys in now, getting some young guys in there. Dominic Alexander just came in for the first time tonight at defensive tackle. So again, they got to find some guys that can help them spell guys that can play. And why not get them in now and get your guys out, rest them up a little bit. So we got 3rd and 3 right here, Brett.
3rd and 3, 47-yard line of Trinity. Inside 5 minutes to go in the football game. They're on a Friday night in Lake City. Shotgun snap to Jackson down the left side, and well defended, but a flag down on the play as the pass falls incomplete. Miles Brooks on the coverage as he and Fred Davis still in this football game.
We're going to get interference, I think. We're going to
usually in that territory, but nobody's moving down the field.
Did they do They did do offsetting again, did they?
I don't know. I saw the
official
pick up the flag.
Maybe hit the ball.
Wait a minute. Here we go. We might get a call here in a moment. Nope. I think they picked up the flag.
Yeah, I do too.
Just a good play by Miles Brooks, the Georgia Tech commit.
Yeah, I think he hit the ball until it looked like, he interfered with him as he hit the ball. So that you can do whatever you want once you touch the ball. So
3rd and 3 now for Jackson and Columbia. Jackson in the game the last 2 possessions. Handoff to Johnson and close to a first down as he puts the nose of the football near the 45-yard line of Trinity. That will be enough for a
they're
first
on
down.
The line, so they started on the 45, and they're on the 45.
Columbia next week has Oakleaf, another good one.
Oh, that'll be a good game.
Oakleaf beating Orange Park tonight. Then after that,
I never heard of the school they've got.
Ekelin's Christian Academy, Pine Forest at Gainesville. If you've never heard of it, Coach, I'm not sure I would have.
I've never heard of that school.
At Madison County, that will be a big one, always is. At Lee, that's been some good games over the years against Lee. Handoff now to Jaden Williams on 1st down and 10 from the 45. He bounces out to the left side, picks up 5 or 6 yards, a run out of bounds by Trinity Christian. I'll call it a 6-yard gain. He'll be down to the 39-yard line, bring up 2nd and 4, as now Columbia's just trying to put the finishing touches on a blowout win, and an impressive one at that, over Trinity Christian. 4:08 remaining in the final quarter.
Yeah, because Columbia's in the district, so they're in the district with Lee, Gainesville High, Middleburg, and them. So they've got 3 games in district that they have to play, and so they've got to fill the rest of their schedule with that. And they're always going to have to play good people, and you can see that by that schedule you just called off. So both these guys not afraid to play people up and down, whatever they got to do to try to get better each week.
Trinity has a short week, too. That game will be on a Thursday night next week against Godby. Next Friday, it'll be Columbia at Oakley. Fumbled snap out of the shotgun on 2nd down and 4. Jackson not able to handle the snap, but Columbia falls on top of it. And overall, they've done a nice job hanging on to the football tonight.
Yeah, and, just a good snap. Quarterback just dropped the ball. Again, trying to get a guy in the game to play because you don't want to have the situation last year where Jordan Smith got hurt and they had to bring the backup in the big playoff game. So now you get the young kid in, get him a little bit of work. And so if he does have to, he's been in the game and played. So, again, both sides are bringing a lot of guys in the game right now at this point.
Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan in Lake City. Columbia High School, 10th-ranked team in the state against Trinity Christian, the 4th-ranked team in the state. It's all Columbia tonight, up 38-7. And on 3rd down and long, the pass falls incomplete from Jackson as he was looking left in front of his own sideline. And it will bring up 4th down, and I expect Columbia will punt it away with 3:18 to go in the football game.
They've only punted once, right? First drive. Columbia punted the first drive, and that's it, right?
They've got some of their backups in, including backup quarterback Cade Jackson. So why not give him a chance? Go for it on 4th and long.
Yeah, I like it. Why not?
46-yard line of Trinity, so they'll do just that.
If there's one weakness tonight that we saw in Columbia was the punt game. But that was like first minute of the game, remember?
That was a long time ago.
Yes, sir.
Haven't had to do that very much.
No.
Jordan Smith, pretty darn good tonight, as advertised. As you would expect, he's a fun one to watch all season long. So on 4th and long, inside handoff to Johnson. Johnson with a nice run, close to the first down marker, but I don't think he got enough That will be a stop for Trinity Christian after a pickup of about 9, and the Conquerors will take over
on
the
downs.
football. 3:10 to go in the football game. 38-7. This has been fun. We're going to do it again next week. Yulee at Fernandina Beach is our game of the week. A nice little rivalry.
Yeah, good Nassau County rivalry. Yulee got beat tonight 31-7 by St. Augustine. So they played up somebody they don't used to play. And I haven't seen anything on Fernandina tonight yet. But that's going to be a good rivalry. Now we're going to go to the other side of the viewing audience area, right, in Nassau County?
Absolutely.
That's what we want to do.
We're bouncing all around. Good to have you on board. Action Sports Jack Stewart Weber will have the call of that game. I'll be out of town next weekend.
All right, Stu, I get to break him in.
That's right. You got to carry him now, just like you carried me tonight.
Nah, it's been fun. It's been great.
It's been a lot of fun. And once again, thanks to Olivia Tassily. She's on the video side of things tonight. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Mixer, all the different platforms that we showcase the game of the week on here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. If you're listening, glad to have you along for that as well. As the final 3 minutes tick off the clock, Trinity Christian has the football, a flag down after a first down play. They got about 6 yards, and this game's in the books because Columbia leads 38-7. It's been all Tigers tonight after the first few minutes. Remember, if you're just jumping in, Trinity Christian had great field position on their first drive after a short punt that you just mentioned moments ago. They got it on the 42-yard line. They gave it to Caleb Killian on an end around, and he took it 42 yards, pretty much untouched. It was 7-0, and you thought this might go the other way in terms of a route. Well, all Columbia has done since then is scored 38 unanswered. They've been in control most of the way. They've come up with big plays on both sides of the football. As Trinity Christian hands off up the middle, they just picked up 15 yards on a unnecessary roughness. They pick up another first down on the inside handoff, but it's going to be too little, too late for Trinity as it's all Tigers tonight.
That's Pedro Velez with the carry right there. He's gotten him a couple carries again. So they've done a good job of getting some of their young guys in to touch the ball and get in the flow of things, because you never know when those guys are going to have to play with the schedule that they have coming up.
Yeah, they go deep in the backfield with Trayon Webb, Kobe Brown, Kewan Herndon. Now you're seeing Pedro Velez in there. Fernando Porter has had some carries too. Here's Velez again as the clock continues to tick. Velez gets across the 25, down to the 23. 2:10 and rolling here from Lake City, Columbia. A friendly reminder that we will have the Friday Night Blitz tonight at 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Highlights from all around the area, week 1 of the regular season. And if you can't catch it, you can always find it on replay on Facebook at Action News Jacks as well. So make sure you stay tuned to all our high school coverage each and every Friday night. A bunch of games, a lot of reaction, and a lot of fun. And it's been a lot of fun here at Columbia High School for the Tigers as they are winning 38-7, trying to close it out with 90 seconds to go in the football game. Ja'Cory Jordan throwing and incomplete on the right side. For a second there, I thought a Columbia defender might step in front of that one. That was a dangerous pass.
Yeah, that ball's thrown to Caleb Carr, who we haven't called his name, so he's getting a little bit of action in there. But again, Trinity will, they're going to come back. They'll get in, they'll work out their kinks and everything like that. But for a first game, playing a good quality opponent, they know, there's no hiding. But again, the biggest improvement are from week 1 to week 2 in the high school season. You play the kickoff classic, then you get in week 1, and then you get to week 2.
And it'll be in the trenches where they have to fix some things.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Now Ross has it, given the ball behind the line of scrimmage, takes it around the right side, and another nice gain, picks up a first down, and the chains will move once again as Trinity tries to get another score on the board and feel good going into week 2 at Godby next week in Tallahassee.
Godby got beat tonight by Lincoln, I think 24-7. I think that was the last score I saw of that. So they'll have again get on the road and travel a little bit over to Tallahassee, and they've played Godby in the past. So it'll be another good test for them next week.
Rolling up on 60 seconds to go in this football game. Brett Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, handoff inside the 15-yard line as Trinity Christian gets bottled up, and now another extracurricular flag coming out late in this one. This one will go against Columbia, I believe.
Yeah, Coach Allen doesn't like that. He's out on the field yanking that young man out of the game right there. You don't want to get in the game here in a little bit of a bopper roll and then get a flag thrown on you. And the head coach frowns on that. But a really good, very impressed tonight with Columbia. Very impressed tonight.
Yeah, hats off to Brian Allen and his staff. And this is a staff that all the coaches except for 2 played at Columbia High School. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it? And they certainly feel it. They love it. There's a loyalty to it. And you can sense it here being around Columbia High School these last couple of Fridays like we have. Now inside the 10-yard line. Looks like Porter with the handoff, and that will get down to close to the 5 with 30 seconds to go in the game. Let's see if Trinity Christian tries to hurry up, maybe get another score on the board. Why not, right?
Yep.
Get in the end zone. Conquerors, second down and goal from the 5. Porter again runs right, cuts back inside, crosses the 5 down to the 3, and we've got 15 seconds to go. That could be the final play unless Coach Dorminey calls a timeout, and he does.
He calls a timeout. They're going to try to get one in the end zone here.
Well, it's a good, you play this, and you've done this many a times, but I'll ask you, do you play this almost as a late game type of situation with these guys? Say, hey, we got one play to score. You can utilize it.
Yeah, you
it's
get
something you might fall back on later down the road.
Something hey, remember in this game we did this? Let's do this again here. But again, you're still competing. You're still trying to put points on the board, and so I don't have any issue with calling the timeout and taking a shot trying to get in the end zone right here. So. Again, but I've been really impressed with the discipline on both sides. We haven't been a very clean game, a lot of respect. You could tell there's respect between the coaches and there's respect between the players. And that you can tell. And usually when you've got that kind of respect, you usually have a real clean game and the kids come out and compete. They'll shake it up at the end and wish each other luck, and then they'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, both these teams probably headed for really good seasons. Likely see them in the postseason the way they're built. But a long way to go for Trinity. A very good start for Columbia High School. And let's see if someone gets in the end zone for the Conquerors. Maybe they just want to be in the end zone on the first ever Action Sports Shacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Let's do it. Ja'Cory Jordan hands off to Doss, who hands off to Kelly. And that is snuffed out by Columbia, appropriately so. So a little fancy stuff at the end of the game on the final play, and Columbia High School says, we got this.
Yep.
And they make another big play. They did it all night long. Big plays on offense, big plays on defense. We'll come back and put a bow on our first ever Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Impressive performance. Columbia High School, the 10th-ranked team in the state, wins it big over the 4th-ranked team in the state, 38-7. Columbia over Trinity Christian here on ESPN 690.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to Lake City. Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, our Action Sports Shacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Well, it was supposed to be a good one. Turned into a runaway for Columbia High School. Give them a lot of credit. The Tigers win 38-7 over Trinity Christian. And now both move on for the rest of the season after the opening game of 2019. Impressive for Columbia, frustrating at times for Trinity Christian.
Yeah, Trinity did a good job. You know, they moved the ball like we talked about. They got it like the 30-30, but then it was sort of like they stalled and they did either that or Columbia tightened it up on defense and they bend not break in the middle of the field type of thing. But yeah, very impressed with Columbia, man. We're really impressed with the overall game, offense, defense, special teams. Did a really nice job. Kids fought, played hard. And defensively, I think they might be a little better than people thought they were. They graduated a bunch of kids last year in defense.
They're tough, and they play that physical part of the game, and Trinity usually brings that. But this is a program in Columbia with Brian Allen at the helm. They can match that physical intensity, and then they have the X factor. Jordan Smith, we talked about him at the top of the program. I think a little underrated, overlooked. We talk about some of the big-time players in the Jacksonville area. Well, out here in Lake City, they got a special talent in Jordan Smith.
Yeah, and the part about that's really interesting about Jordan is nobody says, I've talked to 3 or 4 different guys, everybody real positive, like a positive person, positive kid, good role model and those kind of things. In his play on the field, he just enjoys playing, loves playing, and as long as they got him, they got a chance to be real special this year.
He's going to South Florida to play his collegiate ball. He's got a lot of work left to do here at Columbia High School. We got a lot of work to do as well. The Lou Saab Honda of the Avenues drive of the game coming up next on the Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Game of the Week post-game show right after this.
It's Golick and Wingo.
Cleveland has had to deal with a lot of Odell talking about his ex. Like, everyone's had that relationship where the person you're dating can't stop talking about all the stuff they don't like about their ex. But meanwhile, they're still always talking about them. Like, Odell has been a Cleveland Brown for a while, and we've heard him say, moving on, you keep hearing this guy talking about his ex, and it probably being hard to hear for Cleveland. Like, yeah, they sent me here to die. It's like, well, we had already won some of these games at that point. Like, it wasn't going to be that bad.
Golick and Wingo, weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Honda of the Avenues is Sing Zeros. 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit. This month, sign and drive a new Accord LX for just $269 a month with 0 do-it signing. Or buy with 0% financing at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
2019 Accord LX, $269 a month for 36 months, plus tax, title, and registration with approved credit through AHFC. Lessee's responsible for 15 cents per mile over 12,000 miles per year. 0% for 24 to 60 months on all 2019 Accords. 5% down, plus tax, tag, and fees. Valid on in-stock units only. See dealer for details. Offers end 9/3/2019.
I think Carson Wentz is going to come back and have a resurgent year.
Are you not concerned at all with the lack of depth at quarterback position? They had to rely a lot on Nick Foles. Carson Wentz gets hurt every year.
Not every year.
Golick and Wingo, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Action Sports Jacks. Game of the Week here on ESPN 690. Hello, everybody. Brett Martin along with Kevin Sullivan, the coach, the Hall of Famer. This has been a lot of fun as we put a bow on our first ever Game of the Week on ESPN 690. I'm about to go do some TV on the Friday Night Blitz, 10:30 on Fox 30 coming up. We'll have a half hour full of highlights with everybody else on the Action Sports Jacks team, so make sure you tune into that in just a few moments. But we do want to bring up the Lou Saab's Honda at the Avenues drive of the night, and it had to be in that second quarter, 11-7. Columbia started to take control of the football game. Lenadrick Bradley on a 4th-and-1 sweep scores, and that kind of stretched the lead, and that was the separation Columbia needed because they cruised most of the rest of the night.
Yeah, after that, it was a really good call. Everybody, I think, on defense thought that Jordan Smith was going to keep the ball off the zone read, but they handed it off to Bradley, and he did a really nice job turning the corner, stuck his foot in the ground. It was a touchdown, and I think that moved him and get the momentum going into halftime.
Lou Saab, Honda of the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda Giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. Lou Saab, Honda of the Avenues, drive of the night. Bradley for the touchdown to extend it to 17-7. Columbia rolls from there with a 38-7 win over Trinity Christian. This one was a big one on paper to start the season. In our initial game of the week, it turned into a runaway for the Tigers here at home. The crowd continues to gather down on the field. Congratulations for all the players. Trinity Christian will lick their wounds and get back to work next week against Godby.
Yeah, they go to Tallahassee on Thursday night, so they've got a fast turnaround. And again, I think they've got to work on a little bit things that we talked about offensively. They just didn't seem to sink. Where on the other side they were doing whatever they wanted to do, throwing it, running it, quarterback keeping it, that kind of stuff. And I just think Trinity was a little bit behind offensively as far as getting a seat, getting in a good flow.
Thanks again to all our sponsors for tonight. They'll be with us all fall long here on the Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Lou Saab Honda of the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda Giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. Also, Mr. Chubby's Wings, 2 locations on the west side and in Fleming Island. And Baker Sports, they've been doing it since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. And pay attention to our Coach of the Week coming up on Tuesday, sponsored by Baker's Sports. That will happen during Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 from 3 to 6 with myself and Austin Lane. Kevin Sullivan, nice work.
Good
Game
job
1
today.
in the
Yes,
books,
sir.
baby. Next week, it will be Yulee at Fernandina Beach, our Game of the Week right here on ESPN 690 and all the social media platforms. Been a lot of fun. Thanks to Action Sports Jack Stuart Weber for checking in. You'll see him on the TV side in just a little bit. Thanks to Olivia Tassily. She ran the camera, so thank her for the video. If you got to see some of these plays, a little added element to this radio broadcast. Thanks to Justin Kuzart, putting all the dirty work back in at the Action Sports Jack studios. And thanks to Kevin Sullivan. I'm Brent Martineau. I'll see you on the TV side in just a little bit. Thanks for hanging with us here on the Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Columbia gets it done to open the season. 38-7 winners over the Trinity Christian Conquerors. We'll have Yulee at Fernandina Beach next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Ryan O'Halloran from the Denver Post, beat writer for the Broncos.
But maybe Cam need that little bit of a kick in the rear end, because over a 48-hour span where Doug is saying probably not for Kansas City, and all of a sudden he's out there with a helmet.
Action Sports Jacks, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and